I had a little oopsie there. It's been a Bill Wade's presentation.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or an orange juice. No.
Is it really quiet?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's a bit low.
It's
Wait,
quiet.
why are we able to talk? Are we supposed to be muted?
No, you're supposed to be able to talk. It's just playing
Yeah,
a
yeah,
song.
we've got to sing along with the song.
Is it quiet? Is
Oh,
it
it's
hard
really
to
low.
hear?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
barely
it's
hear it.
really quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
I hear
pretty
you guys loud
yeah.
as hell. Yeah.
Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, and all the ships at sea, welcome to Uncle Bill's Hangar Talk. Apparently, there's something wrong with my setup. They're complaining it wasn't loud.
Hey, Randy.
Is it quiet? Is it hard to hear?
Yeah, it's really quiet.
Yeah, now we've got echo.
Loud as hell. Sorry, I was doing that on purpose. I
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
curious
right.
if it was broadcasting
Was that
over.
quiet? That
Did
fart
it?
sound? Was that
Hey,
quiet?
Randy.
Say it again.
Yeah, it's
Usually-
quiet.
Yeah, it's usually really loud, right? I don't know what's
Right.
going on. What
Yeah.
the heck is going on?
Not a big deal.
Oh, just a minute.
We
Why
might
is
make it through the
everybody
stream
in the
without
chat?
needing fart sounds.
Yeah.
Brad, Frank,
Somehow we'll
Angel,
soldier on.
Randy,
Was that louder?
Jody.
It's showing up. The light came on. No?
Yeah,
I can
just
hear it,
it's in the
but
background.
It's like we can hear what you're hearing, but it's not actually coming through the program.
Just doing the freaking microphone thing again. Hold on. No, it's on
well,
the
you
audio
now
box.
on the side note, your audio sounds fine.
Yeah,
if
your
it were
audio
me,
is
I'd leave it alone. Your audio's perfect. If it was
Well,
Yeah,
me,
your
my
audio is
audio is
good.
going through the
effects.
same box that
Loud
the
and
sound
clear.
box.
I'm just saying.
Ah.
Just saying, your audio's perfect. If it was me, I'd leave it alone. Fuck the sound effects.
Oh, it's yeah, but I like it. But what's the sense of recording if nobody's going to pay attention to it? Okay, well, hi guys, welcome in. Sorry I'm late. Late start. I apologize. I got
Brian.
home. I got home very
How
late.
dare you?
I'm going back to my dad's again tomorrow, so I need to prepare a couple things too on top of it once I got back. Let me pop out the chat here. All right, there we go. I heard somebody just came in. Let's see. Oh, it's Art who's nagging me, and then he shows up last. Hi,
Yeah.
Art. Welcome in.
Howdy, everybody.
You ready to start? Yes.
It
Yeah,
took
you
you long
ready?
enough.
Hey, Bill.
Oh, look, it's Waldo.
Yeah,
Yeah, where's Waldo?
yeah.
It's Waldo. I know where he is now.
Uh-huh. I'm right here.
What the hell you been smoking,
Yeah.
Art?
Yeah, we got a good crowd tonight. Wow, good.
2 people.
Always
Really?
got a good crowd. Always got a good.
Yeah, tough
Do
crowd
we?
tonight.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, how we doing? Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Yeah, 40
Good
minutes.
crowd.
in.
There's like one. It says
One.
there's
I got one watching.
one
Isn't that neat?
watching.
I'm actually watching. Oh
So
God, my
apparently-
camera keeps
no,
Must
freaking
be
Randy's
out.
me
watching.
then.
Randy, you're a crowd.
I've got
Oh,
it says
Brenda's
12
here.
here.
Jody is here.
I've got 12.
Jody.
I forget how I even set this thing up. It's bothering
Okay,
me.
now it says 12. You're right.
All right, we got mad props
Hey,
over
Brenda.
on my channel. Yeah, there we go.
Happy props.
Yeah, we got Brenda, Brian, Brad, Jody, Insta. Yeah, we got Restream. We got mad props.
Who are you talking to? All I see is Randy in there.
Oh, we got
He's looking at his channel.
Angel.
Michael.
Angel.
Brian.
You guys are on the wrong channel. There.
I'm just kidding. That's some funny stuff, though.
No, they're on your channel, Bill.
Well, how come I only see?
I don't know.
I see
Randy.
12.
I've got 12.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
yeah.
got one.
That's really weird.
But
I just
Yes,
saw.
it's me.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sam, Itchy Sack.
Yeah, G-Sack. Hey,
balls.
Sam.
I'm on the wrong channel.
Oh, you are on
Oh my.
the right. Hey.
Really?
Yeah. No, I saw it
Wow.
popped. I didn't have my YouTube open. Because I opened it up when I
This
pop
damn
out the
thing.
chat. So I went to YouTube, and there was my stream. It's like, oh, okay. I clicked on it. I didn't bother to look. I didn't bother to see that it was already,
Oh,
hanging on there.
I wasn't going to ask.
Yeah,
I
Lloyd is
thought that's what
restreaming you too,
Hey,
Hey.
Jeremy.
I think.
All right.
Yeah, we got Angel. We got Michael W. Blade.
Okay. So
Sam,
Randy,
Richie
you're on the wrong channel, buddy.
Yep.
You're on Art's
Mhm.
channel. We're over here on Uncle Bill.
Yeah. Come on over. The water's fine.
Yeah, it's a little
Okay.
chilly, really.
God, this is finally settled in. I wonder why my sound effects
Algae,
aren't-
lots of algae in it too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mm.
That's weird.
How about them drones?
How about
Yeah.
them drones?
About him.
How about the drones? I'm so glad I coined that. I'm not sure I coined it actually. I think somebody
Done.
else did, and I really picked it up. I can't remember who coined it.
You perfected it. That's all.
Shador
I may
Sanders.
have coined it, but I'm not 100%. So I'm gonna go along with somebody else probably said it, and then I just started saying it all the time.
But you made it famous.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that great, so relax. Anyway, how about them drones?
How about them drones? What, May 13th? Friday
Yes,
the
May
13th?
13th.
Wednesday the 13th.
It's not
And here we
Tuesday.
go.
I wish I knew why this was so quiet. It's weird.
Silent but deadly.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
that's terrible. How about this?
How about that?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's in the background.
Just whatever you're hearing over your
Yeah.
speakers is about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
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 We're just waiting for Bill to.
Yeah.
You guys can
So
talk.
anyway, all
By
right.
the way, Shador Sanders drafted by the Cleveland Browns. 5th round.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
way! Wow.
Yeah.
Why does anybody care about the Cleveland Browns? Just asking.
Yeah. Why is he? What's funny is everybody thought, oh, he's going to get picked in the first, maybe second round. And boy, was a disappointment.
Who's that?
When was he picked?
Shador Sanders,
Oh, Dion's son.
son. Yep. Quarterback of Colorado.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we got.
You know what they say? What's his nuts from the Patriots? I can't think of his name right now for some reason.
What's his name?
Probably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Was like what,
Tom
10th
Brady?
or 11th round?
think
Yeah,
he
he was
might-
like a 10th or 11th round
Yeah.
pick or some shit. So
I think you might have coined that. What's his nuts?
Yeah, that's
it was
your.
nuts. Yay! Resume.
Yep.
You know, any of these.
Coin phrase. What's his nuts?
Yeah, what's his name?
None of that's loud. That's really.
Oh,
No.
Sam said the 6th
No.
round. Okay.
6th round. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to the Browns. I know, right? We're really rolling. So anyway,
Yeah.
man, there's no
Well,
leaks for the Mavic 4 anymore. I'm not
No?
even getting calls from people to say, well, just be careful about what you say about the Mavic 4.
Oh,
Because it's pointless. there's very little that can be released about the Mavic 4 that isn't already out there. I'm not sure there's anything to tell you the truth. I don't think there's a
It is the
single
most
thing.
released. It's the most released non-released drone.
Hey,
Yep.
Chuck.
Oh, look at there.
Released in spirit.
Oh, look, there's Marky Mark.
Mark, I think you should have an angrier look on your face when you come on. That would be perfect. You know,
Oh, he smiles and then he covers up the camera.
and he covers
Yeah.
the camera. Yeah, you came
I was
on and
too-
you look pissed off.
I was turning the volume up on my phone.
Get off my lawn.
Oh, another striped shirt guy. Yeah.
You guys are kind of similar in a
It's
way.
striped shirt guy week.
Not sure.
Striped shirt guy.
Yep.
No, I got a striped shirt. I'll be right back.
Is that a
It's
Yeah,
thing?
not
I'm just
sure.
gonna get one.
No one told me. No, I have one.
I got stripes right there. See,
Yep.
You don't count your underwear.
these
It's
colors
not a
don't.
shirt.
These colors don't run.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, paired. Cool cat. Why are you over there, Michael?
Yeah, way over there.
Yeah, Mr. Kitty.
Yeah. While you're over here, leave a
John
super
Johnson's
chat,
over
please.
there. RJ's. Everybody's over there on the wrong channel. What the hell,
Yeah.
man?
All right.
Actually, may as well be because there's nothing going on here either. So, anyway, yeah, I'm going to be going to my dad's 2 weeks in a row. First, I wouldn't go for 8 weeks. Now I'm going 2 weeks in a row. Just bought a battery, put it in that car, and it's dead 4 days later. I think there might be a short,
Oh,
Could be.
Yeah.
about short.
or there's something on in that car, and he's insisting, no, everything's off. There's nothing on. No, it's not on. It's off.
Oh, Gru,
Something's
not
running your
Groot.
battery down. Never had this problem before, so
Yep.
something's going.
Does he have a phone charger that he keeps plugged in?
Ah,
No.
Because some of those will drain the battery,
yep.
Yeah, but
depending
to
on where they
drain- to
plug them
drain-
in at.
To drain a, this is a big battery.
Wait a minute. It's a Ford, isn't it?
no,
No. I'm not trying to be funny. My Ford work truck, if it sits for like 4 days, you got to jump it.
Hmm.
Yep.
No,
I'm
no.
serious, a
I-
heart
I-
attack.
I could leave my truck. I left my truck for a couple.
Yours
of
is
weeks.
not new. It's not new. I'm
Neither is-
telling you. It's not within the last 5 or 10 years, 3 or 4 years. I'm telling you, if I park my Ford work truck for 4 days, it's got to be jumped.
No,
I'm serious, a heart attack. I'm not joking.
you got a lot of
In
shit.
fact, it's no. I thought that
You
too
need a
initially
bigger
because I had a bunch
battery.
of shit plugged in.
That's ridiculous. You need a bigger battery.
Okay.
So you just need to park
Because-
it in Brooklyn.
No, what we did was I thought that too. I had I had phone chargers and stuff plugged in, so I thought, oh, that must be why. But when we are getting ready to send it, to trade it in for my new truck I got, so I took all that stuff out, and it literally sat. We took it. We had to take it somewhere for some jobs. We went all over hell and whatnot, parked it, and 2 days later they came to pick up the truck, and we had to jump it. I'm telling you, we have all Ford trucks,
I think he's
and if they
talking
sit more than
parasitic
3-4
load.
days, they got to be jumped.
He's saying parasitic load is unreal. It's supposed to be below 100 milliamps. So I mean, that shouldn't kill a freaking full size truck
Okay.
battery.
Well, okay.
4 days.
I'm not talking about what should happen. I'm telling you what happens. We got 24 trucks, and they all got to be jumped.
He buys new. He's got a brand new F-150 in the driveway. He lets it sit for 3-4 days all the time. It never needs to be jumped. So I don't know what's going on there.
There
Brand
you
new
go.
truck in the driveway. That's not
Mhm.
the car truck vehicle with the dead battery. It's the 66 Galaxy 5.
Mhm.
Oh, my bad.
My bad. Yeah, you're bad.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. I didn't want to hurt your story. It was-
No, it's okay. But it is true though. Our Fords are horrible. And I don't know if it's just Ford. I'm just saying though. That's what we have. So that's all I know about.
yeah. No, I mean he's never. I've never had to jump any of his trucks, and he lets them sit for days. Sometimes he doesn't. It's not like he's jumping any of these things and going places every day. But I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
know what they're putting in your trucks. A dead workplace that is draining the battery so quickly. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Does anybody notice Lloyd is smoking a pipe?
There's things that do require a constant.
I noticed.
like your remote start, for example, that's constantly transmitting. I have one in my truck.
As you can see, I have provided everything.
What?
I'm trying to find a clip for Mark from Gru.
So look at Lloyd. You're Gandalfing it up tonight, huh?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's my new Gandalf pipe.
I was just
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really that's
Yeah,
really
No, it actually,
that's what you're going for, huh?
yeah, that's where I'm. It's actually a Gandalf pipe. It's by Jolly Old Elf pipe company.
You shall.
And then I've got another one here that's a smaller version. It's they're called I forgot what they call them now.
crack pipe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're not crack pipes. Tobacco pipes.
Meth.
Crack pot.
No, church warden pipes is what they're called.
Warden. Okay.
Church warden. Yeah.
Do you have tobacco in that pipe?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Mhm.
And I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Paladin?
Black cherry.
Paladin. Of
Yep.
course it's a paladin. Because
Yeah.
you're being Gandalf. That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's all I could find in town. I ordered this the other day, and it was coming in today, and I realized I don't have any pipe tobacco. We got smoke shops, we got Indian smoke shops, we got all sorts of smoke shops, but none of them carry pipe tobacco.
Oh.
I had to go to one of the head shops to get pipe tobacco.
Ooh, there you go.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
So, a little happy ending action. And you
Yeah.
smoke.
Mm.
well, I call them a head shop. They're like where Bill gets his your thing you smoke.
Vape.
Your vape.
Oh,
It's a vape shop. Yeah, it's a vape shop. But yeah,
no, she didn't actually get head.
no.
False advertising.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Call
Yeah,
the Better
but they,
Business Bureau.
they had all sorts of glass pipes, and I said, well, do you have any regular pipes? And they said, well, not in this store, but on the other side of town we do, which was the side I should have been on in the first place, which is right next, it's up the block, and so that's where I got this is a Shire pipe, another church, a smaller. This is 7-inch. This is a 13-inch.
Moving up, huh?
She said.
Yeah.
7-inch can't satisfy him anymore.
Yeah.
13-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this has a bigger. This is actually a really better pipe.
Yeah.
Because it's it's cherry wood. It's got a nice filter in it.
Yeah. Nice
It's
wood.
It's just yeah.
I've got
He said wood.
Yeah, he said wood.
You know why that longer stem smokes better?
It cools it.
That's
It
right.
cools the longer. Yeah.
Smoke down. That's right.
Yeah. I figured that much out. I've been.
You could do that with a bomb
Trying-
too, by the way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's the hose. Or
Right,
a piece of
right.
hose. You can
Nice.
attach a piece of hose to the
get,
end.
Get a hose out
Oh,
there. Yeah.
okay. Wrong hose.
It's gonna have a hookah next week.
Just have a long ass hose coming off your pipe. Out here with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Have it way out here. Yeah.
A swirly straw. You can like
But
coil
yeah,
it up.
I actually did order this. I ordered this as a Gandalf pipe. It's not quite because his pipe was a white one, but it's in a solid piece one, whereas this is
That'd be a meerschaum pipe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
anyways.
That'd be awesome though. You could coil it, make a nice coil, and so you smoke, it goes whoop, like a silly straw. That'd be kind of
Yeah, yeah.
cool. The smoke would almost be cold by then.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad used to smoke a pipe and he'd get this god awful stuff that would just make me gag. And then he had some stuff that was pretty pleasant.
I don't like vanilla, and the black cherry it's okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's
there's
what
others out there that
Black
it's an
cherry.
aromatic. Yeah,
Yeah.
black
So
cherry.
they popped your black cherry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
you want to get
Yeah.
Yeah, popped your black cherry.
Oh my goodness.
Lloyd, get the rum. Gorgeous.
Get the
You
what?
Like, you like cherry
Rum.
tobacco?
Flavored.
You like cherry
You're breaking
tobacco?
up, Mark.
Yeah, yeah.
Every
Rum.
other word.
I mean, it's not bad.
I still didn't catch.
How about Captain Black? Cherry pipe tobacco.
Rum.
That's rum
Rum.
flavored. Okay, that's what I
Rum.
thought he said.
Rum
Yeah.
flavor. I thought you said
Aha, rum. There you go.
rum favor.
Yeah, rum.
Okay,
You
liquor
are-
tobacco. I'm
Make
gonna-
our tea.
I like rum favor.
Yeah, I
Get
just-
the rum flavored
this was-
tobacco.
This was the only one I could find in town was this one here. Well, they got another one but the guy, the store across town has a bigger selection of pipe tobacco, but they don't have any pipes other than the
Ah,
glass pipes,
me.
the
Right, right.
and vapes,
Correct.
but all the different sort of, stoner type pipes.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
but in this side they have more. They only had two types of, or two flavors of tobacco, but they had like 8 or 9 different types of
marijuana.
tobacco pipes. Yeah,
Ah,
tobacco pipes. Yeah,
Mm.
and but yeah, it'd been a while since I smoked a pipe, so I thought, well, got the whole Gandalf look going on, so I might as well just finish it off.
there you go.
You're killing it.
Hmm. All you need is your staff there, your little stick there.
Yeah, I've got it
Hey,
sitting. I've got 3. I got 3 of them sitting over there right now. That I
Nice.
made, but they don't fit in this camera too well because they're almost 7 foot tall. So
Oh
hey,
boy!
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, watch out for the aerial. Your fan on here. You go.
yeah, I have bumped my light up here a couple of times, or I have them standing in a box. I have a box there that kind of holds them up, and I go to lift them up, and the point sticks up into my sheetrock on my ceiling.
Ah, okay.
Shit. Yeah. And it's one of those guys. It's that spray on crap, that they did back in the. So stuff just starts falling down. Like, oh shit, don't do that again. So yeah.
Sort of
Now,
reminds
do
me.
you
Hey,
sharpen
Lloyd.
your pencils and throw them up in the ceiling?
Yeah.
Lloyd, have you
Judy would
sent-
never let me, but Patrick used to do it in his room.
Ah,
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Have you ever? I need your address to send you these props. Text me your address.
Oh.
eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll text.
Hey, Don, why is the movie about the bunny rabbits called Watership Down?
Yeah, that's a interesting thought.
Well, I seen Warren came on, and then the Warren made me think about rabbits, and then I was thinking about that movie Watership Down. And then I was like, why do they call that Watership Down? I never really looked into it.
Hmm.
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 So what an interesting name for a movie, Watership Down. I don't remember anything being mentioned about waterships or down. And what is a watership anyway?
It's
Ship
a
that
ship
goes on
on
water.
water.
The opposite to an airship.
Well, you would imagine it'd be a boat, right? But I
Yeah.
don't think so, because how would it be down? But a watership might mean something in old Gaelic or something. You know what I mean? Who knows? Well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's a watership. It probably means something. I just
maybe
don't,
it's an
I don't know what it is.
Well,
I've heard of a
down
watershed.
Poland.
The field the rabbits live in is called a watership?
I don't know, but a down.
It is?
A down is
I don't remember that.
A down is another name for a moorland over here.
Yep, that's correct. I've just looked it up, and it said the title Watership Down is actually the name of a real hill in Hampshire, England. It's a chalk hill, not a ship, not a rabbit command center, and not a metaphor for sinking dreams.
Okay. Well, now I know. Thanks. So watership is a place. Down is a type of place. It's like a moor or a field or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. More or less.
Yeah, like Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's downs.
We have a number of places with downs as the
Yeah.
suffix.
Oh, okay.
Get down on it.
That was an awesome book. Yeah, Don is right. Even the movie was pretty good, though. I gotta say, it was pretty.
Get down.
I haven't
I
seen
would
the
say it
movie
was
in
pretty.
years.
Yeah, it was pretty down with the book.
Lloyd, did you send that to me?
Yeah, I thought I did. I just texted you
To what? My phone?
on your phone. You want me to send it through your messenger?
Yeah. Gotta get up and look at my phone.
All right. Give me a moment here.
By the way,
did they? I thought they. Go ahead.
Gerald Burnett is 92 today.
Wow.
Who?
Yeah.
And
Gerald
Art would still
Burnett.
fuck her.
There you go.
Thank you.
And no.
Wow. Mark says, "Yeah, baby. I like me a redhead."
What?
Yep, I'll agree. I'll take one. Thank you.
I'll just tease it. I say, yeah, Art would still do her. Wow.
Who's
That
that?
dog. Art. Carol Burnett. She's 92.
92.
Art's still
Oh, boy.
lusting about her.
No, loved her show back in the 60s, early
The
70s.
problem was that she was never pretty. I mean,
No.
she
No.
just
No, certainly not.
Vicki Lawrence, well, she
yeah, Vicky Lawrence,
Pretty.
different story. That's all. Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yep.
hmm
And she sang that song. Was that not the night the lights went out in Georgia? What
Lights
was the
went out
song?
in Georgia. Yep.
Oh, that was the right song? Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Her husband wrote it, I believe, for her.
Mhm.
Who was
Hmm.
Redhead in Soap?
You're talking about Catherine Hellman?
Aw.
Huh?
Yeah? Hmm?
Vicki
Huh?
Lawrence.
Are you
Last I
talking
know.
about Catherine Hellman, the redhead in Soap?
Oh, that's from Soap. Yeah, she's.
Yeah,
Mrs.
soap.
Mhm.
Was she Mrs. Tate?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Jessica
Jesus.
Tate.
She was in another sitcom. Was it Charles in Charge?
The mother in Who's the Boss?
Who's
Yeah.
the? Yeah, that's right. That's,
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
That's the same woman?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But there's a long time between it.
yeah.
I would imagine.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Wow.
And I
How about
believe
Mary
she was-
Hartman? Mary Hartman. Who was that?
Yep. That'd be
That show
Louise
Mary Hartman.
Lassiter.
Mary Hartman. Remember that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Art?
Louise Lassiter.
Oh.
Whatever happened with her?
Mm.
I believe she passed away some time ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
The guy that the two guys that they did a spinoff, didn't they? Of like they were TV. You know, who the hell was it?
You
Oh
mean
shit!
Fernwood Tonight.
Fernwood Tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, Martin Mull and
Martin Mull. Yeah, and
who was
Yeah.
the other guy?
he just
They're
passed
both
away.
dead now.
Yeah, he just passed away a few years ago. He played the
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, he played the realtor's father on
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know whatever that family family.
All
It
in the
was,
family.
No.
No.
not Modern
Uh,
Family? You're talking about an old show, right?
Modern Family. Yeah.
Modern Family. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Modern
cool.
Family.
I've never seen that show.
I said, so Lloyd, right about Tuesday, May 6th, you're going to get a 9-ounce bag of Virginia Gold butter rum tobacco.
Ooh,
Really?
there you go.
Oh, that is Wow. Thank you.
Virginia Gold.
Then
Butter
if
rum.
you,
Gold. Yeah.
well, if
butter
you
rum.
smoke it, would be hot butter rum.
Is it Virginia Gold? Because we've got Golden Virginia.
Mhm.
You get what now?
Virginia Gold, Golden Virginia is probably the same thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
It means it's a Virginia
Fred-
blend of tobacco.
Our Virginia's not their Virginia. It's not the
Fred
same.
Willard was the other guy.
Oh,
Fred
yeah.
Willard, that was it. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, that's where they started out on, and that's when they
Yep.
became they did a lot of shows together until Martin Mull died, and then
Hmm.
Fred Willard went on and kind of had
Thank you,
a
Jeremy.
second
Jeremy.
go round.
Hey, let's say hi to folks since the numbers are dropping off in droves before they
Oh
leave.
yeah, we probably ought to.
You know, we were up to like 25.
Say
now
goodbye
we're down
to him anyway.
17.
Yeah, everybody.
I got
Anyway.
16.
Oh, Mike, I didn't know you smoked a pipe. Okay. How's that sound? Virginia Gold, buttered ram. Hot butter.
Sounds nice. Yeah.
I used to smoke a pipe when I was fishing. Keeps your hands warm.
Jackass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Artie,
Yeah,
say,
I had
say hi to everybody.
Yeah, we got Jeremy,
Have to twist
some
his arm.
drone guy.
Jeremy.
And we got Michael Coolcat. And we got Sam, Itchy Sat, Don, Mudball, And we got Warren, Akira Show. And who else?
Oh,
I
Brenda
think
is
I
here.
saw Brenda, Sunstar, Brad, Nana's Attic,
Hi, Brenda. Hi, Brad.
and Bob Casey. Oh, and we had
Barkley was here.
Barkley. Barkley
here?
was here.
Woof.
Hi,
107. Yep.
Woof.
And
Oh, he left already. All right, and then I promised to do this last week, and I didn't because
Oh.
I forget things.
oh,
Crinkle up stuff.
No,
Crinkle.
we're gonna give away one of Alexis's spinners.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
okay.
The data spinner.
These are nice. I got 2
Mhm.
boxes. I got like 200 spinners that are for next year, sitting in
Oh.
my
Cool.
closet there. She didn't think she would catch Ray, I guess, before he went back up north. So I'm gonna hold on to it until the.
Hashtag spinners.
But those she went a little different. They're translucent.
You're looking up a song, aren't you? Oh, purple again. Sweet.
That's all I got. I got a bunch of
Long
purple.
time.
Purple rain.
That's back in the
Cool.
60s.
What color did you do for next year? Presumably a different color.
I didn't open the box. I need to though. Look, it spins. Okay.
Is that why they call them spinners?
It's quality. It's
Yeah,
ball
that's probably why.
bearing.
Yeah.
Look at my wife. She goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, and what the hell's that for?" I said, "You spin it."
Mhm.
Yeah, and what the hell's that for?
It stops you fidgeting.
It's for fidgeting. It's a fidget. They're called fidget spinners, honey. They're kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing.
Fidget spinners.
Keep your
Those
fingers
Fidget-
busy.
Say, watch, honey. You spin it, and oh, my blood pressure is going down right now.
Yeah.
Keep your hands out of your pants.
I tell you, with the lights, it catches the lights like really cool.
Yep.
What are you doing, spinner? Sir?
Come in, spinner.
Why is everybody putting in spinners?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
what you're putting in?
Yeah.
No, we're
Are
not
we that
doing
far
We'll-
delayed?
We'll do a number.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
here we go.
Everyone's like putting in spinner, and Art started it, so I thought he knew something I didn't know.
Your
I can't
chance
type
to
it
touch
down.
Alexis spinner.
Pick me.
If you do it just right, you can get it to balance.
I didn't start.
Okay,
the
one
contest
from
yet.
what? Jesus, Art. Just send Art one. You know what? Art can be the new prize dumpster. Just send it to fucking Art. If he wants it that bad, Jesus. You know what?
No, we're not.
How much
doing
do they
that.
cost?
What do you know about
Not
our
doing that.
lawn that we don't?
Not doing it.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
You should have stuck with
Yeah,
Art. I was just wondering
You're
what you
out.
knew.
You're out. Don's
Oh,
out.
mud ball one. Good job.
Man ball
You
has
said
to
1
we
through
have to
20,
take
right?
his- Yeah,
He
he's
said
number
1 through
one.
20.
He gets the
Ah,
first number.
okay.
You only
1
take
through
his
20.
first
So.
prize.
Ah,
Just crack the box open for next year and just send everybody in the chat one. It's like 10 people. It'll be quicker.
You know, these got some weight to them.
Don't
They have a
spam
little
the
bit of weight
chat.
to them. So
yeah.
Do they say South Florida drone meetup 2026?
nope. Well, I don't know what the new ones say.
The new ones probably do, I would
Mhm.
imagine.
These here
It'd be
just
like
say
being a
Oh, yeah. It does say
2025.
SF.
Just so
Yeah.
you
Oh, it doesn't say
understand,
the year.
warning,
It just says South Florida.
It's
yeah,
a choking
SF
hazard.
Yeah.
Warning.
or DM.
Don't
SFDM.
choke.
Right,
Warning,
that's
don't
what it
choke.
says.
Small
Mhm.
parts, not for children under 3 years.
Is that the label off your underwear?
I was just Artie's got that warning label on.
Whack, waka waka. Waka waka. Yeah, I'm federally required to put this label on my underwear.
I always thought children under 3 did have small parts personally, but
All right, I'll do the wheel of names, I guess.
Well, Ken probably has to. Karen Heron.
The wheel of names.
It's a warning for kids. So
wheel for
warning for kids.
Okay.
Hey, Randy.
Hey guys,
keep away from children.
just say something in the chat so that you show up.
Something.
Anything.
Okay.
You could whatever you want in there.
I did right at the very beginning,
Mhm.
before the
Something.
game started.
So you show up as a participant.
Something.
Something perfect, Lon. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody who's in the chat, say something. Please don't make me ship it to New Zealand or something.
Well, it'd be better than shipping it to Canada. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
It's freaking retarded what it costs to ship to Canada. It's probably cheaper to ship to New Zealand.
Doesn't Jim
she wanted
know
me
it?
to check the package and make sure there was 200 in there. Like I'm gonna pull all the things out and count them.
Yeah.
Check my
So
package.
you've got to pull it all out and
One,
count all 200.
three.
And you have a lot left over for next year. I mean, I get it. There's a bunch of people come, but damn, son,
Mhm.
200.
Yeah, damn son.
Mhm.
That's gotta be a lot. And then when it's labeled for a certain year, you know what I mean? If it was just South Florida drone meetup, you could, use them year after year. You know what I'm saying? The little African kids are gonna be running around the Serengeti with those damn things year after next. That's where all that stuff goes, right? Whenever you see those the videos about Africa, they'll be like, champions, 2022, NFL champions or whatever.
Yeah.
The team, because they print the t-shirts ahead of time just in case they win.
I
And when
print
they don't
both
win,
teams.
yeah, they print both teams, and the team that doesn't win, all the t-shirts end up in Africa. Yeah,
I've
somewhere.
actually seen that. I saw that happen with one of our AFL grand finals where they print both teams, and a couple of them got out. The losing team with the premiers on it.
And normally they send on them like a year, and then they give them away the next year.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that personally too. I've seen the warehouses were working on a door or something, and they had just boxes of this shit, waiting to give away.
Team.
Yeah, it was a losing team
on it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Mhm.
That's weird.
Weird.
No, it's weird. Let me show you what's going on.
Weird.
Hello, Alexis.
Hey, Alexis, how you doing?
Alexis.
Hey. Oh wow, you got it done.
Yeah, but look what it did. It left all these. It created all these empty spots for some reason.
Not enough people.
Well, no, I mean there was the sample had like 8 names and there was 8 spots. So I just
Weird.
Pasted the names in and it did this for some reason. And
Click advanced. What does that do?
If you
Will it
do
fix
that,
it?
it'll no wait.
Okay, never mind.
Watch what happens. Are you sure you want to switch to advanced mode? Advanced mode provides more customization, but you cannot paste in several entries at once. You can always
Never mind.
back.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Because you're not showing 20. Is that 27? I mean, I'm glancing at the list you got there. And ain't feeling 27 from here.
That's a lot more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Like 13.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
There's 26 entries. What's wrong with that?
Exactly. That's your problem. Can you just go up to
There's
entries
your
and change
problem.
it?
Alexis is in the background.
Yep. Hey, Alexis.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's worth a try.
It doesn't do anything.
Let's roll it, man. If you got to roll it more than once, oh well. You know what I'm saying? If it happens to hit an empty spot, oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't spend a lot of time effing with it if it were me.
Well, it's not you.
It's not. So if you want to play with it, be my guest. But I would roll it. And if it hits
Don
an empty
said you
spot,
might
oh
have
well.
spaces
Roll
at
it
the
again.
bottom.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Get rid of all the.
Yeah.
You said you got carriage returns.
Oh, let me see. Is Sunstar on there? No, she's not on there.
Sensor. Where's Sensor? Sunstar.
I don't think somebody explained it.
Zach. Yep, you got
Always show all of the names.
Oh.
Includes.
Read what Don said.
3 conservative gimps. You can put that
Yeah,
in.
I think he's right. You got extra lines at the bottom.
Yeah.
Extra line?
Extra
No, I don't.
spaces.
If you go arrow down, will
Oh,
it?
There's nothing
No,
there.
it
Look,
doesn't. It just goes
click,
to some
click,
stuff.
click, click.
Yeah,
Pressing down.
he's right, you guys. Yeah,
Not there.
yeah, he's
Don't
right.
know why.
Oh well,
Mm,
roll it.
mm.
Let me take them all out. Hold on. Let's cut. Now there's none.
Now it says 0.
Okay.
Now
Now
we'll
One.
paste
try
it again.
paste.
No, just go one at a time.
Hey,
Boom.
we fixed it.
Hey!
Oh,
Hey,
yay.
that old famous cut and
Yeah,
paste.
Brenda IT comes through again.
We're spinning for a spinner. Randy?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Who? Who
Watch
is
it land on North Side Hawk.
Is Randy in there? Yeah, he's in there. Okay.
Yep.
Is it the
Am I
biggest
in?
one?
What?
I put a
I'm
comment.
joking. I'm kidding.
Not
I think like one's bigger than the other.
No, Randy's not there.
It's
No,
fixed.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
he
it.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry.
Yeah,
He's
Mad
on the
Props,
list.
Mad
He's
poop.
there.
Mad Props Media.
Right there.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Brian.
Okay,
Jeremy.
let's
Let's
go.
spin that big wheel.
Rusty.
Spin that wheel.
Who's in? Party, I think. Northside Hawk. Me.
Art's in there twice.
Yeah.
Is he in here twice?
No.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking. It's absolutely perfect, man.
All right, here we go. You
Yeah.
ready?
Let's do it.
Let her rip.
Yeah.
Is there a sound effect? Wait, customize. Any sound effect thing here? No. Ticking sound. There is a sound effect. Let's see. Oh, you can
Cool
pick.
beans.
Random
music.
drum
Drum
roll.
roll.
There you go.
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
Okay, ready, set, go.
I got the excitement. And the winner is Cool Cat in England. All right.
Yay!
Yay, Mr. Kid. And we'll be sending you a $4 spinner straight to England.
For $25.99.
Yep.
Minimum.
I don't care. I'll send it. That's all right.
Send it next day air.
All right, Mike. Congratulations.
Yay.
I mean, Itchy Sack was there.
To bring Alexis in, Bill?
She's in the back room, Bill.
Yeah.
Did she?
Has been for
Yeah.
a couple of minutes.
Been
yeah.
there since before we started this.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no,
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're looking at her ceiling.
Hey,
Oh,
look at
Oh,
the
man.
clock.
Hey, step
I'd say
over the
she's still
camera a
at the
couple times.
hospital.
I'd say that looks like a
That's a
hospital.
hospital room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's high time.
Okay.
High time she came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes back over. Her man.
There
Her
she
man.
comes.
Her man's being worked on.
That doesn't
She's
sound
doing
good.
something.
Enjoy paying the shipping. That's okay. Mike is a good guy. He's all right. I'll send it to him.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
friends? Are we friends in Messenger?
He doesn't have Messenger.
No.
No, I've tried. Yeah.
Not allowed.
All right. Well, email me your address and stuff. It's gonna want a phone number too, so put that in there. And
We call you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And should we sit here and quietly listen to the heart monitor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
not,
know,
yeah,
right?
not
Yeah.
on live show. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my email address in the chat, Mike. So copy that down. All right.
Let's all email them real quick.
I
We got
finally
the
got my
years
son out
worth
of the
of-
hospital
I'm
yesterday.
gonna pull it out of the chat. So
Pull it out.
Hey, Bill does
That's what she
consulting.
said.
I'm gonna check with him about my bunions and see if he has any advice.
Yeah. He only does allergies.
I do consulting.
Yeah.
Juan does insulting.
Asthma.
We're kind of.
I got this mole right on my right butt cheek, and it won't go away. What do you think I should do?
That's from bending over kissing your own ass too much, Juan.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Somebody's
yeah.
got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it. You got to dig it.
That's why his nose is extra brown. Yeah.
Oh, you want to offer yours to Sam?
You have to
How
put
about
Oh
it,
my
Sam?
God! What does Sam private message him? I really wanted that spinner.
Well, he didn't think his name
Snipple?
was on the list. I'm pretty sure it was. I counted and there it was.
I'm
But
pretty
Yeah,
sure it
right.
was too.
It's
Yeah, it
Alexis.
was. Hey, there's Ray.
hey, Ray.
Ray.
You should be up to 20
Okay,
now.
okay, that's fine. Sam,
No.
I'm pretty sure you're in here. In fact, I know you are. So message me your
Yeah.
address.
Yeah.
You should have me on Messenger. I have a boil on my what?
Taint.
Okay.
Should I
Ain't none of my
do
business, man.
at Bill's
Yeah, we don't need to talk
Consulting?
about that.
All right, so who are we gonna give the spinner to? Let's spin that thing again.
You
Let's
giving it to
spin
Sam?
Not anymore.
He can use it to block his taint.
It's probably because he wasn't getting enough volume. Usually that's what the volume says. Okay, what is it? What, 1201
No,
now?
she's not in the hospital,
That's
Randy.
really good volume. He's like, there you go.
Oh, I knew she was there.
I can take it off for a little
They
bit.
did
Yeah,
a,
yeah, I want to hear what I just want to hear what he had to say. Couldn't understand him. Hold on, now, baby. What did you say? Turn this thing off. Turn what thing
This has
off?
got to be a HIPAA violation.
That's the
Yeah.
The what? Turn the machine off. What machine? There was a machine that was wrong.
I wish that was
Yeah, we took it
loud.
off.
She would
Alarming?
hear that
You
come
mean
over
the
the
beep,
phone.
beep,
No,
beep?
no.
Probably have
Maybe
to
we
reboot.
should-
I'm not
Maybe we should
Turn
talk louder
elsewhere.
so we can't hear
I
it.
probably
Or
have to
you-
reboot.
How about we just take her out
You
for
could
right
mute her.
now?
Oh, what was on
you
my
could mute
phone?
her.
Well, what we can do.
Oh, there you
You
go.
were
Mute her.
hearing something on my phone. That's what it was.
There
Oh,
you
they
go.
heard him fart. I think they heard
Yeah, you
it.
heard you making
No, there was
noises.
something on
You
my
heard you
phone.
talking. Yeah. They could hear it. He's like, "What's that noise?"
She's probably
What's that
forgot
noise?
He
she's
had a-
even. She probably doesn't even realize she's in the show yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in the waiting room not long.
No, she's at work. She's not at work. Alexis hasn't worked in the medical field in 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
That's their husband.
No, she's there with her husband.
Yeah.
Her husband's
He
sick.
had
Yeah.
this done. Actually, this is kind of cool. I'm going to show this to you. He sent me.
Oh,
She sent me this, which is him. You
oh,
want to see him?
oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Here he
yeah.
is, Jeffrey
Yep.
T. Green,
Oh.
PA,
Tea
Corpus
green.
Christi
Okay.
Allergy, Asthma, and Dermatology Clinic. That's right. And
Okay.
it's Happy Physician Assistant Week. We're taking a moment to recognize RPA for his dedication and crucial role in healthcare. Thank you for your
Physician's
compassion.
assistant?
Yes.
Mm.
We thank you for your compassion and for the difference you make in the lives of our patients. Hooray!
Yeah, in some states, PAs do the same thing as doctors in some states.
Of course they do.
In my state, I'm just surprised he's a physician's assistant. That's all.
Why is that?
Maybe
I
that's
thought-
his retirement strategy, and he used to be a doctor or something.
I thought he was a consultant.
That's Bill. Bill's a consultant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
I actually, Judy actually, when she was going to pain management, she actually had a PA who was a doctor.
Oh, there she is.
He ended up, he was one of these guys as an overachiever. Started out and he got a doctorate in mechanical engineering, a PhD in electrical mechanical engineering. And he got bored with that, so he decided he wanted to be a lawyer. So he goes and he works and gets his law degree and gets his
Lloyd, she's walking around talking to us right now.
oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll mute her.
Take her off mute.
I did.
Somebody called me. Who called me?
Hello.
Hi, Alexis.
Hi.
Alexis.
Oh, I had my volume down. Jeff was getting upset because he heard that game, that wheel was spinning, and he was
Oh,
trying.
yeah.
He was
Yeah,
like,
we muted you.
He was like, "What?"
No, he didn't really. Anyway, it was just upsetting him that. So I tried to turn the phone all the way down, and he was trying to yell at me through that mask. And I'm like, I couldn't understand him. So I got the nurse to snap the mask off so he could tell me. And he goes, turn that game off. And I go, what game? There's no game. He goes, the wheel that's going round and round.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and
Well, he
round.
heard it and he's irritable. He's been through hell today.
I
Oh.
guess it was the
Well, not
lungs.
hell, but you
It's
know what I
10
mean.
seconds.
He's been through a lot. He's just exhausted. I'm tired. I'm just pooped. So I'm headed home because I got to check the dogs, check the cats, check the fish, check the everything. The chickens and ducks are okay. I was there earlier and fed them and watered them.
Cool.
Has he been
Oh,
in
I
this
know.
hospital the whole time?
Do what, honey?
Has he been in the hospital ever since last weekend?
He's been in the hospital since the 15th, and with the exception of one day. I'm getting in an elevator, so it might.
And that's
Yep,
that.
there she goes.
And that's that. That's
And there
that.
we go. Yeah.
And that's that, my friends. Yeah.
I know
I'm
I was exhausted sitting up there in the surgery waiting while my son was getting operated on. That was just like all damn day
Oh.
long.
Well, and there's
Yeah.
so few helicopters.
Oh,
that
she's
have,
back.
Helicopters, elevators that have free Wi-Fi in them. Hang out in the elevator for a while and get that sweet Wi-Fi.
I'm gonna be in the
Alexis,
car.
we can
Well,
see you now. You could. There you go.
yeah, it's. I'm going down a long hallway. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
just
Yeah, that's a long hallway.
I just don't go to the light.
Just gonna say, I wonder how
So-
many people
That's a
being wheeled down that
hall.
hallway thinking, I'm heading towards the light.
What all have they figured out on him, Alexis? That's wrong going on. Have they figured it all out yet? Or
That giant tumor.
No. No. The the. Oh my god. The stomach where it empties into the small intestine is collapsed. It were not collapsed, but pushed shut by the tumor. So they couldn't get a scope down it. Okay. So this is pretty cool looking here. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Oh
that'd be
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Like something you fly your
Squirrel.
drone. So I'm gonna have to go get my car from the valet here in a little bit. But
Yeah.
anyway, so they couldn't get the endoscope down, and the endoscope is smaller in diameter than the what they call EUS, which is a ultrasound endoscopy or an endoscope. It's bigger in diameter because it has needles that can come out of it to take biopsies, and then they pull it out, through the throat and take those biopsies then to. It's going to
And
get windy here.
and he's irritable over this. Holy crap!
Biochem.
Well, no,
Been there,
he
done
was
that.
sleeping. He was sleeping, and I set my phone down next to his ear,
No,
and I thought I had the volume all the way down, and I didn't.
Uh-oh.
So
Mm.
you can't blame him. Am I not? Guy's on. He's really being. I mean, he's been through the ringer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not upset that he's upset. It's just the fact that I couldn't figure out what he was talking about because I couldn't understand him through that stupid.
PJ.
It's kind of like a CPAP, but it's called a BiPAP.
BiPAP,
It's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Judy was on those. Yeah, it's hard to understand them when they're on that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at the valet. So hold on just a moment, guys. I'm at the valet. Hello, I'm at the Alexis Green. I'm here to pick up my Tesla. Yep, that's it.
It's got
You
right
gotta
in
love
the
Tesla
I didn't
drivers.
click on the link.
Everybody else will say, "I'm here to pick up my car."
Yeah.
Everybody will say, "I'm here to pick up my car."
I'm here to pick up
Not
my
Tesla
Tesla.
drivers. I'm here to pick up my Tesla.
There's the honk.
Prius
There's the
drivers
hospital.
too. Prius is another one. Prius drivers. I'm here to
Yeah,
pick up my
Prius
Prius.
No, these guys. I've been here every day. They know me.
And Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I pull up and they say, "Hi, Alexis."
Yeah.
Funny they should use that term. Hi, Alexis. Sounds
Yeah.
like yeah. Sounds like something they should say. I think it's great that you can afford a hospital that has valet parking.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yep.
That's some first world problems going on.
Look,
Tell me you're white without telling me you're white. My car, I'm lucky my car's still there after I come out of the hospital.
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Look, my car hasn't been stolen.
They're not trying to generate new customers when you walk out into the parking lot.
Yeah, like
I'm
taking shots
lucky
at
my
you and
car's
shit.
there. Guys, I drive a Tesla.
I know,
And she's
right?
got
Yeah.
the hat to prove it.
Well, you should
You
have
got
been.
the hat to prove it.
Aren't you supposed to be able to press the button and it comes to you?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
Yeah.
agree with I agree with Michael there. It's
I think it will actually.
valet themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that in the real world. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that would be creepy if it
She
was.
likes to allow other people to enjoy the Tesla world that she's
Right.
up in.
But Ford had self parking. I don't know if the new Fords do self parking, but that was pretty cool.
That's pretty.
You just hit the
freaky
button and the
stuff.
damn truck parked itself. I was like,
Yeah,
damn, son,
yeah.
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I freaked
That's pretty
out.
sweet. Yeah,
I've driven a
that's pretty
car like
sweet.
that and I freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
something,
it.
Park itself.
something I've noticed, modern vehicles,
Um,
they all have cameras, rear, backup cameras, and they have the guides, in them.
Yeah,
so that you-
obstacle avoidance.
yeah, obstacle avoidance built in.
Yeah,
It's
radar
it's made people who should never drive a vehicle that big able to drive a vehicle that big.
Yeah.
I've noticed like everybody backs into their parking spot now, because it's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because it's not a big deal anymore.
I know.
Nope.
Well, with a pickup
That-
truck,
Well,
it can be difficult because you got a bed back there,
Right.
without
Yeah,
the camera.
yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing. But
Yeah.
it's a
That
little
vehicle
more-
I forgot what it was, Toyota or whatever it was I got down there when I was in Florida.
No,
it had
you had a Nissan. You had
It was a Nissan. Oh, that's right. It was a Nissan. Okay.
Was it a car?
Anyways, yeah, it had warning lights on the side. Anytime somebody pulled up next to me, it'd start flashing over there.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, what a pain in the ass. I kept thinking, what the hell's over there? It's like, why are these lights doing
I think
this?
that's the point. It wants you to know that there's something over
Was
there.
it? Was it on
Yes,
the?
it's letting you know.
I usually just plow right
Omnidirectional.
through without thinking. Now I gotta.
Yeah.
This thing's nagging. The
I
shit out of
remember,
me.
yeah, the first time I drove a car with, lane keep. Just suddenly jerked the
Big
steering wheel
every
over
time
on my
something
ass. I'm like,
moves,
what
yeah.
the hell? I was like, what the hell? Something's wrong with this car. I literally thought something was wrong with the car. It just jerked the steering wheel. It didn't like where I was in the lane and it jerked it over. And I'm like, wait, whoa, hey, what the hell is this horse shit? I thought something was wrong with the suspension. I was getting ready to call Enterprise. He goes, hey, you need to come and get this car, man. Something's wrong with the front end.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, something wrong.
No, I
with
thought it
doesn't-
was.
doesn't
I thought
like
it was a
cross
bad
country.
tie rod. Yeah, I thought it was a tie rod or something. It jerked. It just jerked me over. Oh
Right,
shit!
yeah,
Must have
yeah.
a bad tie rod
Well, you know
or
what
a
it
loose
actually
wheel
does?
or who knows what.
They don't really steer the car. They just apply brake. Like if it wants you to go to the right, it applies brake to the right front.
Yeah,
tire,
electronic
front
brake
tire
force.
individually like that, which causes.
Well, regardless, it jerked me over. Tesla's turned the wheel.
yes,
I can't
they
speak
do.
for
Yeah.
the Grand Cherokee I was driving.
Well, Tesla's
know.
will actually drive you
This
to where
was
you're
in a
going.
league of its own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tesla's got
That's not lane keeping.
rather than a steering column.
Well, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I never really looked into it to tell you the truth.
I've never owned a vehicle that ever had it, so I haven't really was
I'll tell you what, you
looked
get used
into it
to
either.
it. You do get used to it. It allows you to. I mean, you shouldn't be less attentive, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put a different YouTube channel,
Hi,
on,
Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny,
you combine that.
Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny,
Yeah, it allows you to do a
Johnny.
You combine it with adaptive cruise control. You're rocking. Hi, Johnny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Johnny's got 14 hours on YouTube right now. I woke up at like 7 o'clock, 7:30. I'm like, what the hell? Why am I awake? And then I saw Johnny was on. I think it notified me or some shit because he was on for Rodney this morning.
Yeah, he did Rodney's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
Why didn't Rodney do
Hi,
his?
Jane.
He had to work.
He had to work.
Oh, okay. I'd seen something about that, but I didn't see the reason.
Yeah,
What?
he did a small stream the other day explaining it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I guess.
So Alexa, they weren't able to do the endoscopic ultrasound guided ethanol ablation therapy.
Wow.
I have the article she sent me right here, by the way.
I would say procedure if it was me. Were they able to do the
They weren't able to
procedure?
do that, Alexis.
She
I'm
said,
sorry. There's so much noise here. What?
They weren't able to do the endoscopic ultrasound guided ethanol ablation therapy for the tumor.
No. No, the stomach is closed off to the small intestine, and they had to get past that part in order to get an image of the, or get close enough to the tumor so that the needle could come out and stick into the tumor to get a sample of the, for the pathologist. So no, none of that worked. None of it.
Mm.
So we still don't know what we're dealing with. We've been here 11 days today. Tomorrow will be 12.
Mm.
Just don't quit. We don't have a biopsy. So now what they're planning on doing is,
"Yo,
which means Jeff hasn't had any nutrition in his intestinal system for at least 11, 12 days. So they've got him on what they call TPN, which is it's a nutritional bag that they put on for their IV,
Yeah,
and it
the
goes. They
IV.
put in a. Well,
Supplement.
they're not doing it through the IV per se. They're doing it through what is called a PICC line. It goes in
Right.
right above where your arm bends on your, like
Mhm.
right here,
Yeah.
your arm bends,
At your elbow.
and then it guides up over and it comes down right above your heart. And so you get better responses from drugs, and PICC lines can stay in for like up to 6 months. Where
Right.
look, there's a sexy car coming this way. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
So the PICC line can stay in a lot longer than a normal, like
Yeah.
IV.
IV. Yeah.
IVs, his hands are black and blue, his arms are black and blue. The poor guy, his hands are all swollen. In fact, I took off his wedding band today. I'm taking it home to put it in a safe place because his hands are so swollen. I don't want him to have circulation problems.
Right.
Thank you
Right.
so much. Have a nice evening. You too. Thank you. So let me get my seat reset where it was.
Take tips.
Hey, I got a stupid question, Alexis. I was wondering this. What does it matter what kind of tumor it is? Doesn't it have to be removed if it's interfering with his GI
Well,
tract? I mean, if it's interfering with his, it's got to be
They got to
removed,
take
right?
care of that.
Regardless of what it is.
If it's malignant, they got to start another. They have to start other treatments too. If it's not malignant.
Yeah, but that thing's got to come out. Period.
What kind?
okay,
What kind of
that's,
treatments?
that's
they do?
not really a
What kind of treatments they do?
that's not really a stupid question. Actually, that's a very smart question.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: we need to, like Bill said, I think it was Bill. We need to find out if it's benign or malignant, and if it's
Well, they'll know once they
malignant,
pull it out,
then they
right?
can treat it.
know once they pull it out, right?
You can't pull it out. That's another. I mean, this thing is like
They can only
look,
reduce.
look the tumor.
reduce it.
No, the tumor is wrapped around
Right.
arteries.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
vessels, blood
shit.
vessels, not
Mhm.
arteries, blood vessels, and the blood. And I wanted some clarification from the surgeon, and I go, what blood vessels are we talking about? Is it by the duodenum, or what? The duodenum is the area where the stomach goes into the small intestine,
Right.
and he said it's around
Yeah.
the blood vessels of the pancreas. And that complicates things enormously because if you cut the blood vessels, you can't just cut it out because, I mean, if it was any place else, you could probably cut it out. If it was in the colon, you could cut it out and do a resection. You put the two
Right.
pieces together, just like you
Been
would,
there, done that.
just like you would put a garden hose. You cut a garden hose and where the leak is, and you put the two halves together. That's called a
We got it, we
resection.
got
You
it.
can't do that because it's right at the base of the stomach. but this tumor is wrapped around the blood vessels and the nerves, the nerve endings of the pancreas. So they're thinking this might be pancreatic cancer, and of course that's pretty much a death sentence, you know.
Gone.
Um, yeah. So anyway, it's life and death here. It's no joke. I mean, this is
No.
serious stuff. No. So now what they're thinking about doing to get the biopsy, because they couldn't get it through the ultrasound endoscopy, which is called EUS, and they couldn't do the ablation with the ethanol. They're now talking about taking a real long needle and going through the side of him to get the biopsy and have that guided by ultrasound so they don't hit anything else. And if they can get to the tumor, then they can take a biopsy that way instead of opening him up on his abdomen. Because if they open up his abdomen, he could die on the table right there.
Right.
I mean, he's just so weak.
Right.
And so they're trying to do this as less invasive as possible. So if we find out that this is cancer, I've got an next door neighbor. Her mom just got back today from MD Anderson. She had radical mastectomy because she had breast cancer. My friend, which is the daughter, she had the same thing done. She had cancer, and her sister has cancer. So they're all three going through this, but they highly recommend MD Anderson. And my friend that lives next door is a pediatrician. So she's very smart, just like Jeff is, and all this medical stuff, even way more than I am. I mean, you know, I'm not a physician assistant. I'm not a doctor. I'm right now, I'm nothing, you know, except heartbroken and just feeling overwhelmed. I really,
I understand.
yeah, it's just so, you know, yeah, it's crazy. So they're going to try to get the biopsy, and if they're successful, that might even happen as early as Monday, but I doubt it. The way this hospital runs, it'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday. And the whole time he's not eating things that he wanted ice chips when the tube got taken out of his mouth. So the nurse allowed me to give him some ice chips. She gave me a cup with a little spoon. So he ate a couple cups of ice chips just to make his mouth feel better because it's so parched from having that tube down his throat. And of course, he can't talk very well because he's baritone. I mean, all of his vocal cords are scratched, his esophagus is scratched. You know, everything is just irritated. And so, anyway, yeah, that was not a stupid question by any means. So, but they can't cut it out because it could bleed. He would bleed to death. So the tumor, so the other surgery that they're thinking about, well, they are going to do, I guess, is they will open him up. They're going to take his small intestine and then sew it or connect it with a port or do something. I've never seen this surgery in my life. But they're going to connect his small intestine straight to the side wall of his stomach, which will allow him to eat just like a normal person. And that way it goes from the stomach digests the food, and then it bypasses that bottom part that's blocked by the tumor. And the tumor is staying in there because unless they can kill it by chemo or radiation, this thing will eventually kill him. So he gave him a 6-month window now to live if he doesn't die on the table. And then I wanted to yesterday when Jeff was still intubated, Dr. Davis came in the room and he goes, well, I've got some hard news. Well, I already heard it from Dr. Cruz. I already knew what he was going to say. Jeff's wide awake and he's intubated. He's got this tube down his throat. And I should have pulled Dr. Davis to the side and said, could we speak outside the room, please? And take him out and say, look, I don't want you to address, Jeff doesn't know any of this yet. So don't tell him when he's intubated because I know he's going to have questions. He's going to have concerns, of course, and he's wanting to have a conversation with you. Now he can't even talk. So, but I didn't do that. I was just like, I go, Jeff, do you want to hear what he has to say? And Jeff shook his head, yes. I don't know why I didn't pull him out. I guess I just allowed it to
You don't
happen.
think
And
you're so
I
exhausted.
regret
You're
that.
just,
don't think you're
Well,
yeah.
and you're thinking maybe he has
Yeah,
the right
yeah,
to know.
and you're thinking maybe he has the right to know.
well, he does have the right to know, but he also has the right to talk and to ask questions. And he, in 1 or 2 days, like if he would have came back today, well, he's not. Well, I'm going on a trip over the weekend. Well, okay, then we'll wait till Monday. But he should have waited until Jeff was not intubated. I think that was bad bedside manners on the physician's part, on the doctor's part. I don't think he should have. I don't think he should have told Jeff he was terminal and he's going to die in 6 months or less. Because the excruciating. I was looking at Jeff's eyes. Jeff was staring up at me. I'm on one side of the bed. The doctor's on the other side of the bed. And Jeff's looking at me while he's saying this, and he started to tear up. And just the way his brow turned and curled and the wrinkles across his forehead was just sheer agony.
Yep.
Because Jeff understands all this stuff, and he knew that that was a death sentence, and it wasn't fair to Jeff. And I really kicked myself. I wanted to get through this without any regrets, but that's already strike number one on me. That's on me. I should have asked Dr. Davis to step outside the room and calmly asked him to not do this until Jeff was not intubated and he could speak, because he's going to have questions and concerns that he wants addressed. I didn't do it. And it's like, you know, I'm just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There,
And living without,
hindsight's always 2020
I
when it
mean,
comes to,
Hindsight's
especially
always
when you're
20/20 when
that
it comes to-
exhausted. You
especially
know,
when
you're
that exhausted. You know,
you
yeah, I'm
just don't,
tired. I mean,
and
you
that
don't.
your judgment
And
isn't
that
the same,
your judgment isn't the same,
but you can't blame yourself
obviously,
for it.
but you can't
But you
blame
can't
yourself
blame
for
yourself
it.
for it.
I do.
But you can't blame
Well,
yourself for it.
I know, but I do.
yeah,
Well,
I know.
You know, and it's
know.
also he said
I know.
it was survivor's guilt when I told the doctor right at Jeff's bedside I would take his place in a heartbeat, and he goes, "Well, that's normal in survivor's guilt," and I go, "It's not survivor's guilt, doc." I said, "What it is my love for my husband. I don't want to see him suffer. I would rather be the one to suffer. I would take that pain away from him if I could do it, and I would put
Yep.
myself in his place so he could be in my place. That's that's not survivor's guilt. That's love."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Jeff would do the same for me. You know, if I were laying there, he would say the same thing. You know, I've never had anybody in my life love me like this man. I mean, there was times I had to tell him, "Quit telling me you love me so much." It's like every 5 seconds, I said, "Don't be insecure." He goes, "I'm not insecure. I just love you that much." And I'm like, "God, you know, my mom told me you better hold on to this one because you'll never find another." But we never knew that Jeff was going to be facing this. I mean, we got blindsided by this, people. I mean, you know, it's just devastating. It's devastating. You know, and I don't care about money. It's important, and we're going to run short. There's no way we're going to be broke as broke can be. But you know, I don't care. I already had the mechanic that worked on my plane. He runs the fixed base operation. It's called an FBO, fixed base operator. Um, I already told him I'm going to need this for final expenses or medical expenses or something or all the above. So could you list it for me and do that for me? Because I'm just not. I'm overwhelmed the way it is. He already put it on Barnstormers, which is a site where you can buy airplanes, and
Right.
you know,
Right.
he's just a super, super, super great guy. I haven't met his wife, but I'm sure she's just as sweet as sugar. But I'm just wiped out, guys. I am absolutely overwhelmed and wiped out. And it seems surreal. It doesn't seem real at all. How could this possibly be that Jeff Green is sick with possible cancer or pancreatic, whatever it is? We need a miracle. And if we don't get it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, it was like today, I was like, where? And when I first thing I thought of when I woke up this morning, besides saying my prayers, was where did I put? I know where my will is, but where did Jeff put his will? and I don't. And he couldn't remember.
Mhm.
And of course, I found it, but it wasn't him that put it where I found it. It was me that put it there, so I wouldn't forget that I put it there. I mean, it's like, you know. So where else would it be? You know, it's like I found it in the obvious place after looking a bunch of other places. But I did find it. I made sure everything was, notarized and signed. We did that back in 2021 through LegalZoom. So it's all set up. It's everything's in place. But God, I mean, I would much rather just wake up and just realize this is just a nightmare, and then saying, "Baby, you wouldn't believe this nightmare I had."
Well, for what it's
I
worth,
know we all have
you
to do
know,
it. For what it's worth, God, this is something else.
well, for what it's worth, I'm not a big fan of empty platitudes, but they've told me they've given me 6 months to live twice now, and they were wrong both times. So, for what that's worth.
Yeah. So, for what that's worth. Well, I understand and I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're still here to even say it. And I mean, we all die at some point. Scripture is very clear. It's appointed unto man once to die, and then come the judgments. I get that. But you're never ready. You're never like, even if you're 90, you're not like, well, I'm ready. Unless you're in there's a Camaro up there trying to act tough. He doesn't know Tesla can beat him. So the you're never really ready to go unless you're in such agonizing pain. You just say, put me down. I mean, I've experienced such bad pain in my legs that I'm thinking, how am I ever going to get out of this? And it's slowly getting better. The pain is starting to get better. But just as I'm getting better, Jeff is getting worse. And it's like, this is a big one, though. This isn't just vein surgery. This is like, you can't cut the damn thing out. It's a tumor that's wrapped around blood vessels and nerves. I mean, how did it even start? Is it all the supplements you were taking? Was it Ozempic? Which that stuff is like, if anybody out there is listening to this and you're taking Ozempic, throw that crap in the trash and don't take it. There's so many bad side effects. I had bad side effects with it, but
I stopped. I stopped taking.
I'm sorry.
I stopped taking it. I stopped taking it. I was on it.
Stuff
I
is
was
trash.
supposed to lose weight with it.
I was
on it. I was supposed to lose weight with it, and it got a terrible echo. Got a terrible echo.
Is it from me?
Well,
Yeah.
Whenever anybody talks to you.
Whenever
anybody talks to you.
Oh, well, I'll turn it down. Maybe that'll help.
I talked.
Is that better?
I don't know. No.
Oh, there it went.
Well, are you here?
It's all right,
Oh,
man.
there
It
it
doesn't
went.
matter.
It's all right, man.
I could put my. I'll be home in probably less than. Where am I?
Well, that much of a delay.
I'll be home in
just
probably
under-
10 minutes.
That much of a delay. I just wonder. That much of a delay. It's like somebody's got an extra window.
It's going through the Bluetooth
Somebody's got an extra window.
through the Tesla, and I'm hearing you through the Tesla sound system.
It's the YouTube.
Yeah, that's
So
how you
maybe
normally
that's
do
it.
it.
It's
That's
the
how
YouTube.
everybody does it. You normally do it. That's how everybody does it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's how I'm doing it.
Well, I understand.
I'm gonna let my car
Well, I
drive. For a bit.
understand.
I'm gonna let my car drive. I gotta try to get my
At least a
AirPods
3
out.
second delay. That's at least a 3 second delay. Or 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Just let the car drive. Let the car drive.
I had to take
You don't
over
have to
because
tell her
I don't
twice.
have home
You don't have to
touch.
tell, you don't have to tell her twice.
Echo.
Little lady.
Little lady.
That's
We're
crazy
having
'cause I
fun with
don't
your
hear it
sound
in this
system,
room.
Alexis.
having fun with
Yeah, I'm over the echo.
Yeah, I know you are.
Over the echo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my AirPods out here. We'll try that. It won't be long. I'll be home.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
You
Just whatever.
I know what it is to have to. You need
I know what it
something
is
like
to
this
have
to
to-
keep your
You need
sanity.
something
So
like this to keep your sanity. So
I
If
understand
you do that,
that.
you got to
So,
talk the whole
Yep.
time because none of us can
You
talk.
got to talk the whole time because none of us can talk.
I'll put these AirPods in.
John's right there. John's right there.
Jesus, Lon. You just keep laughing.
Okay, that should be. That should. I got the AirPods in. That
Yeah.
should have done it.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Check.
maybe it wasn't you.
Check.
No,
Check,
it's
check,
definitely
check.
you.
It was her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just trying to be.
Testes. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
Cough to the
7,
left.
8,
Cough
9.
to the right.
Cool.
So the
So I
car
had
driving,
my.
Well,
is the car
Don't-
driving you home?
Yep.
All right.
Except it's.
Are you
trying
going to
go
kiss it
away.
at
I
the
don't
front
wanna go.
door?
No, I'd like to kiss my husband at the front door.
Yeah.
It's
Give the car a
trying to
kiss when it
take.
drops you
I'll
off.
probably end up taking over in just a little bit because I want to take a shortcut through the neighborhood. I'm looking at the map and it's trying to take me a different way. So, it doesn't know the shortcut through the neighborhood. It tries to take you on main streets.
Maybe it doesn't believe that the shortcut is shorter.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no wait,
They might
wait,
know
wait.
something you don't know.
My dad's got all kinds of shortcuts like that. Oh, I don't go that way. When I go to the airport, I go up the Arcusi Road and I go there. It's like, yeah, it's not any faster, Dad. It's just,
Yeah,
it might be a little shorter, but you're driving slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
no,
could be
this
set
will be quicker.
short.
Say that again, Mark.
It could be in the settings to quickest rather than shortest.
It gives you some options, but it just doesn't know the neighborhood like I know it.
That's true.
Well, you're going to have to teach
I
it.
found that a lot of times because you're on 45s or 55s, and if the shortcut might be shorter, but you're taking 25s, at the end of the day, you actually get there quicker staying on the faster roads.
Right.
But to each their own though, as far as that goes.
It's in a the road I just came off of was 40, and in the neighborhood it's 30. But this is short. This is quicker to the house, so it'll actually be quicker. I've tried both ways.
Interstate
This
40?
is
I've been on Interstate 40.
She probably does 40 in the 30 anyway.
yeah, the car's doing 30. But here's the problem: it doesn't understand potholes. It doesn't understand speed bumps, and I got one coming up, so I'm going to take
I
over.
don't understand potholes either. What's the point?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if it does
Potholes.
slow down for the
Help me understand.
speed bump. It might actually slow down. It is. It's slowing down for the speed bump. What do you know? It does. See, it's all software based. They have these people going and typing. This is where I got to take over because it wants to take me up 2 blocks that way, turn right, then turn. I can just go this way and goes pretty much. Well, this does take me to my street. So this is much quicker. Unless it's a school day during the time that the school zone is in force. And then you don't want to come anywhere near this area because right over there is an elementary school. And they have cops on motorcycles with radar that pull people over all the time.
Bastard chips.
Chips, remember that show?
Yeah.
I have to stand
Yeah.
up.
Good show.
I'll be back.
They did a
Punch.
remake of that too.
Eric Estrada.
And then the movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was a movie, I think. I think that's what I was talking about.
Oh, there probably was a remake too, because they can't come up with anything new.
Yeah.
You know that there hasn't been a new
That's
show in probably 30 years.
Yep.
Just remakes of old shows and spin-offs and
They are,
reboots and whatnot.
they are making a new film of Chips.
Yeah, and
Are
the whole
they-
thing is, why are those writers going on strike? Because they're not really writing; they're just copying somebody else's work. Why do they deserve a
Regurgitators.
pay raise?
Hey, $1 million a year is not enough. I'll have you know. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
$1 million
Right,
a
yeah.
year is nowhere near enough money to survive in LA, Mr. Man.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Well,
here
they
we
got
are.
this thing called the internet. They could live somewhere a little cheaper and just send in the work, you know.
Oh, then you lose the charm of being in the Hollywood elite. You know, come on, you have the whole experience, Bucko.
Right now,
It's
my
like being a
dogs are going
cowboy.
crazy
Bucko.
because they can hear the
Bucko.
alarm. Yeah, the dogs are going crazy right now because when the garage door opens, the alarm goes off. You know.
Chirello.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I love most about Chips is they would drag somebody out of a vehicle just before it exploded. That was my favorite part of Chips. They leaned on that so hard, you know, someone getting a crash and they barely get them out of the car. And, I bet they did it 20 times.
I used to love the way the K1000s used to off road.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't get away from the exploding cars soon enough, the show would be over. You know, that'd be it.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, it killed
No,
the
I mean, they
cars.
could have got away from the car and then they exploded an hour later. You know what I'm saying? It would explode the bare second. You know, like no bomb gets defused with 10 minutes left, right? They all get defused with 1 second left or something. It's crazy. In
But it
movies,
would
it's
be
just a trope.
Yeah,
I
the
like
show
the
would
guys
have
that
to be an
be
extra
creative
hour
because
long.
they leave 6 seconds on it. I've seen-
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
that.
You know what I mean?
They go,
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It never gets diffused with an hour left. It's always like they barely make it every single time.
the green wire, the red wire.
Yeah, that's all I'm
One on the
saying.
left.
Every single time they barely make it.
You know, if I'm ever in that situation, I'm going to cut anything but the blue or the red because those bomb makers watch those same movies and you know damn well they use the yellow wire.
Yeah, I don't think they're color coding their work.
Yeah.
Honest with you.
Yeah.
You don't think it's standardized? Have you never not
Nah.
been to bomb maker school?
How else
Yeah.
are they going to
Not
be
when
able
I
to-
was there, it wasn't.
You got to use the colors. How else can you?
Hi,
diffuse?
guys. Hi, puppies. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm getting attacked.
Yeah, it's all standardized. There's a union and everything.
So,
Pipe Bombs International.
Yeah, I don't remember any of my
Shiba
EOD
Shiba.
training them talking about color coding like that.
I'm
you
a
know?
raven. Jasper. Ryder. Hey, ow, Shiba, that hurts. Come on, let's go inside.
I don't know. You
Let's
live
go
in a
outside.
kennel?
Yeah, they got in the cat box again.
How many dogs do you have?
5
Jesus.
Oof.
Oh,
out of the house.
Jesus.
See what I've got in here?
I thought. Well, we used to have
Oh my
6, so I
God.
can't say anything. So
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
you
look
have
at the
ducks
mess
and
in my
chickens
house.
and cats.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
why I
then-
don't have them. That's exactly why I don't have them.
And there's dog poop on the
that's it.
pads and pee and
Oh, no.
everything.
No.
Okay. Okay, go inside.
Those are
Jasper,
reasons
go
1
inside.
through 10 why I don't have a dog.
My dogs
Nope.
go outside and go to the bathroom on their own. You know. No problem.
Well,
No worries.
normally I
We
would
got
be
doggy
here,
door?
but I've got a
2
husband
doggy
in the
doors,
hospital,
matter of
so I've got no choice.
Yeah, yeah.
At least they're watching.
They don't have a
football.
pen outside? Oh, sorry, Art. I'm very sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Art.
Yeah, well, at least they got TV to watch.
Yeah, I leave the TV on.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
They got football. Oh, yeah.
Football for the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, and then they've got fish to watch, and
Fish, yeah.
and they got the big tank over there. But they've destroyed the house. I'm gonna have to do some discipline. So tomorrow, whenever I go to the hospital, they will go into their kennels, and I'm not leaving them out. And I'm gonna have to come back to let them out to go to the bathroom. I mean, it's so ridiculous because it's like this is what is overwhelming. You know, we have all these animals because we were able to take care of them properly, but right now it's out of control because Jeff's in the hospital, and I've got neighbors next door They have like 5 generations. They're a beautiful family, a Filipino family. You've probably heard me talk about it before. Um,
Mhm.
and then anyway,
You're
they
afraid to
asked
leave
me.
them outside because of the Filipinos next door?
No. The
Oh
Filipinos are
God.
beautiful
That's a
people.
joke.
That's what
I'm
I said.
sorry. Yeah, just a little bit of a
No,
joke. Sorry.
what I'm trying to say, guys, is that they're offering to help, and so
Mhm.
far I've been able to do it because the dogs have been behaving. But when they do this kind of crap to the house, and I'm already exhausted, now I've got another hour's worth of work to get the house back in order and to mop the floor and to sweep the floor and put the cat furniture back where it's supposed to be and sweep up the cat litter, and it just adds to my stress level to the point of where it's like, I'm gonna accept the help because I cannot do it all by myself. And normally we would
Right.
have 2 people here, Jeff and I, and now it's obviously it's just me,
Well,
you
I'll
know.
tell you, when Judy got sick and I knew it was getting towards that point, I said I didn't care if the damn house fell down around me. I was spending every extra moment I could,
Hmm.
even if it was just laying in there next to her in the bed, you know.
Right.
And that's what you'll find that you're going to do. If you get to bring him home, you're going to spend every moment you can
Hmm.
because you know
Well, I'm
that
already,
the next moment,
yeah,
that may be your last moment.
and
And the
that's what
house
I'm
is
thinking.
irrelevant.
Oh, I know, but it's like that's what I'm doing now. Even when I'm at the hospital, I feel guilty. There's been times I have slept overnight, and then I come home the next day, and the house is in perfect order. All the dogs are being perfect dogs. They're not doing crazy shit like this. I mean, they're not going
And
haywire.
they sense it. And they sense they sense something's wrong too.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
they're
Because
behaving badly.
you should have seen him whenever you should have seen the dogs whenever Jeff was discharged on the 16th, I think it was. We went in on the 15th. He got discharged on the 16th because it said you're going to have to wait till the next Monday to get an endoscopy. And so Daddy came home, and as soon as he walked in the door, the dogs were like all over him, just like they were me. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
even when I go away and I tell him, okay, I'm going to go see Daddy, he's in the hospital, and there's one that's called Mama Raven, and she always lays on the sofa and puts her head on his lap, and he's not been here to do that. When I said I'm going to go see Daddy, he's in the hospital, she started going, just like she was
They know.
crying, and she probably was
Yeah.
crying,
Hmm.
and it's like, God, this is killing me all the way around, and I don't mean that because
Yeah.
my husband's dying. I hope to pray to God he's not, but I gotta see if this is magnetic. Hey, it's magnetic. Let's see here if I put it over here. Maybe that'll be better. So you'll be able to hear me, but you probably won't be able to see me, which you're not missing much. I gotta start picking up dog pads and mopping, and I'll keep my AirPods in so I can hear y'all. Oh God, what a mess! I feel like I came home. I came home this afternoon. I asked Jeff. I said, "Is it okay?" We got poop on the floor. They missed the pad on this one. Um, and everything down here is either wood or tile or marble or whatever this stuff is. So it's all cleanable. Unlike upstairs, we have double gates, so they can't get through because everything on the other side. Well, everything from the stairs up is carpeted. No way. Now Jenny, she'll go up there. She's got a bed up there. So if I'm upstairs, she'll go upstairs and lay in her bed, and she's real good. She's never messed up the carpet. But these
Hmm.
other monsters, oh my God.
Hmm.
This is like somebody broke into your house and trashed the place, is what this looks like. And I think you're right, Lloyd. They sense it, and that's why they're acting
Yeah.
up.
Hmm.
I
And
know
if
my
I,
dogs, they still go around looking for Judy. The little girl, she still sleeps on Judy's side of the bed,
oh,
So yeah,
that's just heartbreaking. I don't even know how you do it because I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I mean,
you do it
it,
by
it,
picking up your feet one in front of the other and having friends like we've got here.
yeah,
Uh, I went out there a year ago. I wasn't in the right mindset, but I needed it. And when I came back, I knew it was too soon. I went out there this time. It was a whole different story, but being able to
You went out.
converse with these people, out to
You
South
went out.
Florida.
Oh, you mean the drone meetup?
Yeah, to the drone meetup. I went out there right
yeah.
after I'd buried Judy, and just because my boys wanted me to get away from it because I'd been sitting it through it so long.
Yeah.
But a year later, yeah, I miss her every damn day, but I can function now, and it's never
Yeah.
going to go away, but
No.
you start. I have a routine of going out to different restaurants in town just to get the hell out of the house,
Yeah. 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 And the thing of that is, Jeff and I, we know so many of the
Oh, thank you,
restaurants
Mike.
because
Thank you, Michael.
we've gone out to so many restaurants that they know both of us, and some of them are on the text list when I'm sending out updates. Like what's going
Right.
on. And Ray Kelly, Captain Ray Kelly, is he in the audience today?
He was in the chat.
He
but I
was.
didn't
He
think-
actually commented to you a couple of times.
Oh, I couldn't see it, but yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, he sent today, I believe it was, that he and his wife and the drone community are praying for you and your husband Jeff, and that just goes a long way. I mean, I've got the world of respect for him because I came within 2 weeks of going to a police academy myself when I was young, and I told him the story, which I'm not going to repeat here, but it was a mess that I didn't get to go, and I've just never gotten over that either because I wanted to be a peace officer so bad. It was either that or an airline pilot, and that was just the way I went, and it didn't happen. So I thought, well, I'll settle then for what I have done, and being a pilot on the flying end. And anyway, life is
in the way while you're making plans.
Yeah, life is what it is.
Yeah.
I just never thought Jeff would ever get sick like this because he's the epitome of health. This man, when he got COVID, he was down for 1 day, and he tested positive for oh God, it was like a month, 2 months. I mean, it was a long time, but he felt great. He says, I don't have any symptoms. He was sick 1 day, and then I got it. No, he tested positive for 2 or 3 weeks, I think, and then they finally drew blood or something to check him, and he was good. I don't remember how they did it, but he had all the what do they call those things? Those shots. Because he had what was it? All the shots they made people take to go back to work.
Vaccine.
Vaccine. God, my brain is fried. I can't think. But
I couldn't think of it either.
He had to have all those just to work because the CDC said if you're a healthcare provider, you have to take them. There's no option. Well, how do we know that this isn't part of that? We don't. Well, we don't know because I asked the doctor point blank yesterday, whenever he broke Jeff's heart by saying this to him when he was intubated. I asked him point blank, how did this happen? Was it Ozempic? Was it something else that he was taking? I mean, he says, you know what? Every doctor that's looked at this have said, we have never seen anything like this in our lives. Never. They've never seen a tumor that wraps itself around where it did, around the blood vessels, the nerve endings. And yet they say it's not pancreatic cancer because it's not coming out of the pancreas. It's not going into the pancreas. But now they're telling me that it is mimicking pancreatic cancer. The whole thing is just, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense at all. I mean, it's just crazy. Man, these dogs must be stressed because they have got, this place is trash. Whew, Lord. Okay, so, yeah, so anyway, I don't want to fill the show up with all this crap. So if you want to get back to the drone news or what's going on.
Oh, look at
Right
this.
ahead.
Ozempic, a medication containing the active ingredient semaglutide, has been linked to a potential, though rare, risk of thyroid cancer, specifically medullary thyroid carcinoma (MTC). Oh, that's awesome. They didn't tell me that when they
Yeah.
subscribed that to me. That's great.
What do you pay for a dose of that? Am I mistaken? Where it's like $500 or $600 or something like that?
No,
Isn't it an incredible amount of money
no. Well,
per
no,
dose for
actually, it
Ozempic?
cost me nothing because of my insurance.
Mine's free.
Yeah, but
Because you're pre-diabetic or something?
But I
No, because all of our prescriptions are free when you
Lives
don't.
in the
that's
UK.
right.
oh, you're paying for them. You just
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
when
He's paying 80% in taxes.
free,
Yeah, whatever.
But anyway, I
don't
didn't
pay.
pay anything for it, but I know it was high. It was like $500, I think, for the whole thing, or like a month's worth or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, 500 a month.
Oh, I thought you took a shot for that. I didn't know. I don't know.
Ozempic, yeah, it's a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Is
it's a
you can get it in
it's a
tab
dev-
It's
it's
a-
a dev- it's a device
like a
that
pen.
like a
Mm.
pen that you turn, and then it loads it, and then you I did it for about a year.
The pen has water in it, and the needle has a compartment with the powder that the water goes through.
Yeah, so thank
Yeah.
you for telling me what I was doing for the last year.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 2.
I was taking it for a year, yeah.
Mm,
But yeah, it's a tiny little needle. You don't feel like you're giving yourself a shot.
no,
It's just
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah.
Just-
If I ever, God forbid, I ever come down with diabetes, I just shoot me. I love candy too much, you know.
Yeah.
I don't like needles, you know. I'm not doing the shots, so just shoot me and be
No,
done
the
with it.
needles, Lloyd, the
In-
needles are so small, like Bill was saying, you don't even feel it. It's
No,
just
it's
like
they
tiny.
barely,
giant.
they barely break the skin. They
Mm.
basically just fill up underneath the top
Yeah.
layer of skin.
It's
And
called
then
a subcutaneous shot, is what
subcutaneous.
it's called.
Yep.
And
Or
then
they
basically
call it sub-Q for short.
Well, knock on wood,
you
my-
basically absorb it into your body.
knock on wood, I'm not dealing with that. So
they're 10 millimeters long and 0.8 millimeter diameter.
Yep.
Okay.
it's a needle.
Well, they've told me
That's
that
why I'm not a drug
diabetic,
addict.
and
I've
they-
seen
they-
I've seen
You
Hornet
wouldn't notice it.
give
You don't even feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what she said.
a little bit of a pinch at best. That's it. You don't really. You don't.
It's
You feel like you're
nothing.
jamming yourself with something dull.
What you know, as bad as when
You-
I was
you
in the
push button,
hospital.
you go-
Yeah,
They give you the pre-measured amount, and then you hold it there. They're supposed to count to 9 to make sure you give it a chance to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
to it. Not a big deal. Then you put it back.
well, when I was in the hospital, they would give you heparin shots every 4 hours. Let me tell you, I got real tired of those real fast. Because it's just like every 4 hours
Well, I
they come
think-
in and pop you in the stomach to give you a heparin shot to keep you like. They never used to do that.
yeah.
Put them things on my legs that keep the clot from forming. And don't give me these damn shots. But now they give you shots.
Yeah,
They
it's not fun.
probably clop it up.
Yeah, I like those. I like those leg massages. They put that on me when I was in the hospital. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah, they
Right.
plug,
Mm.
So I
Well,
went on Amazon and I bought some Chinese knockoff one because I wasn't going to spend the real money, and it worked just like just like that. And I used it one night.
Yeah, they looked really good on your 3D printer there.
Yeah, I know that they're hanging on the 3D. Well, no, it's not like I don't like it, but it's a pain in the ass to put them on. You got to put them. You got to fold it over, and then you got to get up. Then you got to unfold. Turn it off, unfold them, take it up for you like.
Hello, Chris.
It's a pain,
Chris,
kind of a pain in the ass.
Hey, Chris Hope.
Hey, Chris.
Mr. Hope nephew, welcome.
So Chrissy Cakes.
Yeah. When
Well, if
did
you ever
the-
get diabetes, Lloyd, it'll be Art's fault for sending you
Yeah.
all that coffee.
Yeah. Well,
I'll blame it on him.
actually, Lon, it'll be your fault because you're
Yeah,
the
you do.
one-
If
and then you'll tell me to send it to Lloyd. Yeah.
see, so we'll blame it on Lon. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Lon started that whole prize dumpster thing. So yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder if that was my plan the whole time.
I don't have diabetes.
I don't know how to get rid of Lloyd.
Just to clarify, I'm pre-diabetic. You can get
Mm.
Ozempic by being pre-diabetic. She did it because
Gotcha.
she thought it would make me lose weight. I took it for a year. I lost 10 pounds at the beginning, and then I just slowly gained it back. It's supposed to kill your appetite. I don't think it works on Italians.
Well, here's how Ozempic. This is
Mm.
why. This is why Jeff had so much food in his stomach, and they had to. They don't pump it. They actually use suction. But the Ozempic, how it works for diabetics, or well, for diabetics or people who are wanting to lose weight with it, it slows the digestion rate in your stomach so that the food sits in your stomach longer. And so it makes you have a sense of satiety, which is a sense of fullness. And that's how the drug works. And so when it sits in there, your sugar absorption rate is slowed because the food is not really being absorbed as fast. And that's why they had to suction out all this food, which just looks like dark brown gravy. It's because your food in your stomach is all broken down by the acids, you know.
Just ready to eat something too.
It's
I
very
was just thinking about. I was like,
I'm glad I
haven't
had
eaten
my dinner early. Yeah.
I didn't
I was
have
thinking
dinner.
about
I'm
having
like,
some of that cream of potato soup, and now I'm thinking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, today my grandson, our artistic grandson, he turned 18 today. So
Oh, happy birthday.
yeah.
Happy birthday.
So,
Happy birthday.
yeah.
He's a
And,
painter?
so he-
or
huh?
What'd you say?
My autistic
Autistic.
grandson.
Ron.
Autistic grandson.
Autistic.
Artistic.
God, I thought you
Yeah.
said he's artistic.
Yeah, it
He's
could be
autistic
as
too,
well.
but no, he's autistic. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry
Cool,
about
cool,
that.
cool.
But
No,
anyways,
it's
he
okay.
turned 18 and he has his favorite Mexican restaurant here in town. So we all went over there and ate dinner. And oh my God, I always order the
Sopapillas?
Burrito?
now the tacos,
Fajitas.
the tacos de carne asada, which is just
Okay.
beef tacos.
Yeah.
Right. Carne asada.
But
Yeah.
it's not ground
Couldn't
beef.
just say
Yeah,
beef tacos, but steak
yeah.
tacos.
They're like fajitas, but they're you just get 3 of them, and they you don't have to fix them yourself. They're already pre-fixed. So, anyways,
Gotcha.
I love them, but that sauce has been killing me all evening because that asada sauce boy, I mean, it's spicy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can see how you would have
Classic.
confused artistic with autistic. I mean, you're sitting next to Mr.
Art.
Yeah, art.
Artastic.
I'd rather be
Yeah,
autistic than artistic.
There you go, Art.
Yeah.
I got a new name for you. Artastic. We can get rid of the art.
Artastic.
He actually is a pretty good graphic animator. He does his own graphic. He does his own
Hey, Jim.
movies for his YouTube channel and stuff. So
Well, he is
yeah.
artistic. Then.
Do with Lloyd's accent than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, my accent, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I do sound a little hillbilly sometimes.
No. No. Come on.
There's nothing. You know what I watch a lot of time. Well, this is before Jeff went into the hospital, but usually by the time I get home, I'm too exhausted. But you know what I watch to calm myself? A lot of times, I've got the
What?
full series of the Andy Griffith Show on DVD,
Yeah.
Oh
and I
man.
got a little TV in the bedroom with a I've got a little TV by the bed that has a DVD player in it, and you just turn it on, but that country type
A country
twang
twang.
or
Yeah.
whatever it's called that Andy Griffith has and the whole black and white thing. The whole black and white thing just takes me back to my childhood,
Yeah, that'll
It's
be.
calming.
He's a very nice boy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, Andy. Yeah. You need to talk to
Randy,
Gilbert.
I'm gonna take Thelma Lou up the Bob Pilot.
Mount
I used to
Pilot.
actually do a
Mount
pretty
Pilot.
good. I used to do a pretty good of him. I can't do it anymore. I used to do actually a pretty good impression of him.
Sounds
Yeah.
more.
I didn't
Just-
used to have a
just
hillbilly
what did you-
accent.
I love it.
Used to
My
have
dad
a
was born in the
hillbilly
South.
What'd
And
you just say, Gandalf? You used to have a hillbilly accent?
No, I said I didn't used to have one,
Oh, there you go.
but I've lived here so damn long that it just kind of. Well, my dad was from
Yeah.
Arkansas and Oklahoma, so I had a little
you
bit
go.
of one just from growing up around him. And
Yeah, that's good.
Dang.
That's
my,
good.
my
I
brother
love
and
that
sister
area.
would go down in the summertime to where their mother was at, and it was down on it was in New Mexico, but it's right on the Texas border, and everybody down there sounded like a damn Texan. No offense, Alexis, but anyways,
None taken.
but
Thank you.
so I had these different accents, but I grew up in Colorado, so I didn't have it, and then was in the service and lived out in Arizona and Nevada, and so sort of had a nondescript Midwestern accent. But then 44 years here in Oklahoma and being married to a hillbilly, uh, it kind of rubs off. And
I wish
but-
I would have been able to have met her. That would have been cool.
yeah, she was a character. She kept me in line, which was pretty hard to do.
That even sounds like Jeff because he says there's two types of people. There's characters and there's jokers. Characters are good people. Jokers are the bad people.
Yeah,
But he calls
Dang.
people characters. He even calls our creatures, our dogs and cats and everything. He says, "Hey, character, how are you doing, you little character?"
Mhm.
Oh my God, this is a mess. I'm still sweeping. It is
Now,
crazy.
if you want me to do real Gandalf, I can go in there and get my hat too. I got a Gandalf hat in there. So.
Oh, shall not pass. Oh,
Yeah.
shall not pass.
Yeah, I finally got.
I
I
say
figured
that
out
on
how
the
to
way
make them
home.
light
Who
up.
goes
So
Mm.
What's that, Dominic?
Oh, who goes there?
Yeah.
Another Monty Python reference. I always have to get one in.
Well, I was doing Gandalf, but okay.
Uh,
I do
Monty
like that.
Python,
all
Gandalf.
them-
What's the difference?
all them medieval tales are like,
Mhm.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
I think it's
Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.
Was that the coconuts? They didn't have the money for horses, so they came up with the idea to use coconuts.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are crazy. And the Black Knight.
Yeah.
It's only a flesh
Bring
wound.
out your dead.
It's only a flesh wound.
Bring out your
Bring out
dead.
your dead is
Hey, this one's not dead yet.
Well, he'll be
Not
dead.
close enough, right?
He'll be dead soon.
I think I'm feeling better, actually.
I feel
I
like
feel much
I'm
better.
going for a walk.
I feel like
Ye-
dancing.
That actually happened to my grandfather.
Whoa.
What?
I know
My
you're that old. During the bubonic plague, he was thrown out on the
no,
cart.
no. It's during World War One, and he was over in he was in Flanders or Flanders, however they say it. Anyway, Flanders, yeah.
Flounders is a fish.
Okay, Flounder. Yeah, I know
Flanders,
that.
not
As soon as I
Flanders,
said it, I knew I'd said it right. Anyways, they were going through and they toe tagged him, and they, at different levels, different colors, and he had a gaping chest wound, because he'd been hit by something, and so they had already sent his information back and designated him as dead, and they got back, and my great grandmother actually, and my mom had it for years. The black bordered telegram saying that my grandfather had died. Now, my mother was born 2 years after he was declared dead.
Well, you got better.
And yeah, so as they were, and I had never heard the rest of the story until I think it was after my mom passed away. My uncle come down and they were going through checking me out. This one's dead. This one's dead. This one's dead. And he said, all of a sudden he sits up and says, "I don't think so." Scared the hell out of the guys. And of course, then they immediately got called in the medics, and he was he was sent to the hospital in, south of France or wherever it was, and
The
yeah,
4077.
they'd already informed the
Yeah,
family, and the
407.
obituary had already been written and everything, and he shows back up. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
that's
yeah,
kind of,
it
that's
really
kind of Monty
happened.
Python-ish. She turned me into a newt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got better. I got better.
Mhm.
God
No,
damn.
that's a really good sequence. So that's funny. It's one that's overlooked
Well, it
too. It's
is,
not
yeah,
one that
'cause-
people really remember. But to me, that was one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
I saw
No,
it.
Yeah,
I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much
I'm
better.
feeling
No,
much
no,
better.
you're dead. He's dead. No, he's dead.
No, he
Yeah.
was saying he'll be gone by the weekend or something
yeah.
like that, along those lines. It's almost God,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like singing. I feel like dancing. The old man he's squirming around. Hey, come on, do bloke a favor. He turns.
Yeah, get him out of here. Yeah.
He killed him. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Who else today?
All right, no problem.
He must be the king. How do you know? He's the only one not covered in shit.
You're trying to oppress me.
Yeah, it's that Saruman, maybe.
Great
Maybe
movie.
Lloyd
I might go
Saruman.
watch it now. I bought it. It's in my library on Prime Video.
And I haven't watched that
That's a
in
good
years.
movie
I'm
when
going
you can wait a few years or months or whatever. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
Still know the whole
Hey.
thing, but you still watch it and enjoy it.
It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I watched that like
Yeah.
50 times probably. I used to go to the theater every Saturday night, and at a midnight showing, we'd all go, and people would dress up and bring
I was gonna
toast
say,
and
did
rice
you
and
dress
shit.
up?
No, actually, I didn't. And there wasn't no real reason not to. I had a lot of friends that did, but I just wasn't into it that much.
But you saw it 50
You know,
times.
No, I would go to hang out with everyone else, but I wasn't in it enough to cosplay it. You know what I mean? I like a lot of stuff, but I don't dance. I don't get into the live. I had a Harley, but I didn't go out and buy Harley boots, a Harley jacket, hang out at bars and pick up fat chicks or whatever. You know what I mean? I liked having a Harley, but I wasn't like, I'm trying to have a lifestyle. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just wanted to ride a motorcycle. I didn't want a
I had
life.
Harley boots.
Yeah.
Next
I
month,
didn't go deep
we're
into
going
it.
to Galaxy
I tried.
Con.
Because I liked them though, not because they were Harley boots. Yeah, I should get the Harley boots. They're really reasonably priced. What the hell am I hearing, by the way?
That's
all that-
Alexa. She's
Alexa's-
doing something.
She's
Oh, all right, never mind. And I got a Harley.
That's not me.
Oh, that
Sounds like
banging
water
around?
running.
I just figured it was her.
No,
No,
here
no,
it
the
is.
there was some
banging, yeah.
banging.
Rough,
The
just-
banging is because I'm dumping stuff out of this dustpan into the trash can.
I got
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Harley helmet. It's got the logo on the side. You want to pay too much for a helmet? Get a Harley helmet.
Oh, I got a
wanna- if you
couple I could
wanna-
show you.
If you want a helmet that's in excellent condition with the Bluetooth, you can talk to each other and all that crap. I got 2 of them. One for me and one for Jeff.
Were the Senas? Did you get the Sena ones or?
I don't know. Mine is not a Harley one, but his is a Harley. I'd have to look. They're sitting in there.
Also, you added the
in there.
headsets. Then you added the headsets after the fact.
No. It came with it's all built in.
You can buy them built in. You
Really?
can buy them to put in. It's the same thing. They're really the same thing. They just
Yeah, they're built in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, my bike's old enough that it didn't have Bluetooth. It actually has jacks that you plug into, and you actually had a wire coming up to the head, and it has a C.
That's how
it has a CB radio.
Wow.
Wow.
The trike that I bought had jacks, and the Harley actually came with the plugs that you plugged in and all that. But we bought helmets that were Bluetooth, and we never used it. So
Well, the newer bikes have Bluetooth actually hooked up with the stereo.
yeah, that's how the.
I mean, I have some external one that I plug into. I have an auxiliary input jack. It's a little Bluetooth thingy that you just plug.
Yep.
Right
The aux cord. Yep.
auxiliary. And if you want a Bluetooth, you just go to auxiliary. But yeah, it's got a jack in the front. It's got a jack in the back for the passenger. The passenger in the back's got their own volume control.
cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bam. There you go.
Get your finger on the logo. There.
There you go.
No, I'm talking about the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth attachment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Hey, we got Night Train. Hey, Mike. And Joel.
Wow.
Oh, is Joel in
So you
here?
can just
Joel?
move it around to the different helmets. I got one of these on almost every helmet. So you just hook it from the one and you hook it to the next helmet. You just got to have the speakers and stuff in it already. So
This full face, they're the best, but I never could stand wearing them. I don't know, maybe because I live in Florida. It's hot in there.
I can't stand catching bugs in the face is what I can't stand.
Well, no, it's got a shield that goes down. It's got a shield that comes down and protects it.
There was a video out today. This guy pulls up on this motorcycle and he's getting gas, and it looks like he's riding the skeleton of a predator, and he's wearing the full predator mask and everything. And I mean,
cool.
it was awesome. It was
Saw
pretty
that on
cool.
Facebook. Yeah.
Cool.
Did you? Yeah, I think it was on Facebook is when it's passed around. Yeah.
These AirPods are about to die. Battery's getting low.
No, not the AirPods.
Oh, hey, TJ. They're showing up late.
Oh, TJ's been around
So
a while.
what's the drone show that's on the same time that yours is, Bill? Because the phone suggested it, and I watched it, and they had President Trump talking about, that you should watch their channel or something, and so it was all probably AI.
Yeah.
It's like FPV something another.
Huh.
You know what channel I'm talking about?
Was
No.
that
It wasn't Art trying to steal Bill's stuff, was it?
No, it was an FPV show.
Oh, was that Fly Zone FPV?
Yeah, I think that was it. I could look back at my history, but yeah.
Yeah, that's Mike up in Illinois. Mike.
Why
Todd.
are they?
Yeah.
Why are they on the same time as Bill? I mean, don't they just check?
Well,
Oh, look at that! I don't know where this bag came from. I wonder where this helmet was. My wife hung it up in this bag, and so I got a Harley bag.
That's
Sweet.
I got a Harley watch over there too. As a matter
Oh,
of fact.
and a caliber.
I have a Harley bag to put my helmet in.
Flip face.
Oh, snap. Not a Harley bag.
That I didn't even know I had.
Yeah, I was right. I got 14 helmets on the shelf over there. Holy crap.
I've got
and no bike, right?
No bike.
I got 2 helmets. Well, I got 3 because I bought my wife a pink helmet that she likes.
Yay.
What's that common brand?
HJC?
B. Starts with a B.
Oh, Bell.
Bell.
Yeah, it's a Bell.
B-E-L-L. Bell.
Yeah.
This is the Harley.
God, they've been around forever.
And even this has more than mine. The one I usually wear, if I wear one, I've got just a skull cap type that I throw on top of it.
Oh, I got a couple of those. I don't count those. Yeah.
H100s or something.
They call them brain buckets. They're just there to scoop your brains up. Oh, yeah.
Got that nice smoke.
It looks like an old CHP.
Don't it?
Recharge inside there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually good. Look at this. I forgot this was even here. That's a camera.
Yeah, I see that. I saw that.
With a dead cat over here. Ape Man.
I ordered 2 extra cameras for the house
These are
today.
like $40 or something, $50, something like that.
What'd you say, Alexis?
I ordered 2 extra cameras for the house today, so I could keep an eye on these
cameras,
creatures. Yeah, I've got one. We've got ADT cameras around the house and the doorbell and all that crap. But I've got one on the duck pond and I've got one in the duck pen. So, and they work really, really well. You have sound, you can talk. Somebody from the camera could You could set it like the Ducks gave me 199 phone calls the other day because they were so loud that it was ringing my phone, and I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb so the Ducks would
Commander
quit.
Cody and the Space Cadets there.
Do I look cool?
But the
Oh,
dogs
yeah,
are going to
you
go
look-
in the kennel tomorrow.
You look cool, Bill. Yeah, really.
Bill always looks cool, and I'm not even looking at it because I'm still cleaning.
Still works.
Hi, sugar.
Meh.
Okay.
Suzuki.
I like my Suzuki.
This is all carbon fiber helmet.
I had a Suzuki. I had a Marauder. Suzuki Marauder. It was only an 800, a smaller bike.
Yeah, between.
But I like that. All right. Maybe I'll charge that.
All right.
The camera's terrible. I mean, oh, it's 1080p. Yeah. Use it at 1080p. It's all fisheye. Whatever. It worked okay, for the money. I could never get the wind noise. I had that dead cat shoved way up inside the helmet and still just full of wind noise. It's terrible. That shows how long it's been since I put that helmet on. I did that video like 3 years ago.
Huh.
I don't wear a helmet usually. I got a little half helmet in the back of the bike in the floor pack.
I was working for this I was a gopher for this guy that had he's at the time he was Oklahoma's richest man, and I was just his gopher, and I got to drive his different cars, his Rolls, but also had to wash him. He was taking one of his Rolls Royce Silver Shadows out from work that day, and he's going to take his wife out. So I had it over and I was washing the car.
You were washing
And while
the
I'm
car.
there,
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt your story. I'm going to interrupt your story.
I let it go.
Can you say my facial
I'm
expression?
sorry, but just how often do you think somebody has said I had to wash the Bentley? But please continue.
yeah,
Tell
well,
the rest
not
of the
every, yeah,
story.
yeah, I had to wash the Rolls Royce Silver Shadow, so
Yeah.
convertible.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Those
while
words
I'm there,
Yeah.
I hear these screeching of brakes, and I look over, and there's a guy on a motorcycle, and he's hitting the car, and I'm watching this guy fly over, and then he bounces twice with his head. Well, I go running out there. Yeah, he had a fractured skull, and and I go running out there, and I was the first one to get to him. And he was still semi-conscious. He was like, he's trying to get out. I said, no, lay still. And this happened right in front of the friggin' hospital. So and it was just as all the nurses were getting off shift. And they come running over they park their cars, and they come running over, and somebody had handed me some napkins, and I put pressure on the open wound of his skull, and I'm holding it there, and finally one of them comes up. Well, I'm a nurse. I said, good. Here, you take over. She said, oh no, you're doing a good job. Don't take the pressure off, and wait until the ambulance gets there. I'm
touching that thing.
exactly. So I'm sitting there holding this guy. That made me believe that you should always wear a helmet, because he didn't have one, and I saw what it looks like up close and personal.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, as I'm holding this
Good way.
stranger's brains in, and then on top of that, I get my butt chewed when I get back to work for taking too long to wash the car. I was holding some guy's brains in my hand. What the hell,
Yeah.
It was right outside
But-
the hospital. Why did they have to wait for an ambulance?
Yeah. They could have
Because
just
they had to
pulled
get
it
him back
through,
to the hospital. I had to. They got
Procedure.
priorities. Yeah.
Procedure.
And there's
Good way to contract AIDS too,
There's trained people in there that do.
Well, this was This was.
AIDS wasn't even invented yet.
Right now,
Yeah,
The Black
AIDS
Plague
wasn't
wasn't even
invented yet.
invented
Yeah.
yet.
And they'll come in and they'll tell
Hepatitis.
them what they're working with.
Spanish
You're
flu.
working with this guy's got stuck to his head with the dried blood. Yeah, you have to remove that gray-haired guy first. you know, and then you can start.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He was barely
Probably
gray back
wasn't
then.
gray back then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
barely.
gray, but not near as gray as I am now.
Mhm.
No, I'm a lot grayer now than I
How
was.
long ago was this?
That's in 1982.
Oh,
Yeah, 43 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
more than that. No, we have 43.
At 43. Yeah.
43. Yeah, about
Yeah.
43 years ago. Yeah.
wow. What that guy is?
I'm sure he's
Well,
fine.
last I heard, he survived it and actually ended up in pretty good shape. They were able to kind of. I mean, he had some peripheral damage, but you know, after therapy, I guess, because I asked about him, you know, wanted to go up there and what, you know, of course,
I'm
it was in the newspaper,
okay.
and that's the only reason I didn't get fired because it ended up in the newspaper, and they had to believe me that
Huh?
I wasn't just I wasn't just driving around town in the rolls, you know.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like,
About
yeah, I
them
got to
drones.
drive the guy. I got to drive his Maserati,
Oh.
his Gullwing Lamborghini. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I did drive a Bentley. Yes, he had about 15 of those. He actually has. He had. He's not even alive anymore. But he actually had Winston Churchill's Rolls Royce that he used. You know, his staff car.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Well, the
Wow.
Bentley
had this huge
was
ashtray in it for the big cigars.
Mm-hmm. Probably in the humidor. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's just the
Yeah, it's really
just
cool.
the dying part that sucks.
HCI 100. That's my other helmet.
Oh.
I had to look it up.
Gee. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
One of these times I gotta do something. One of these days I gotta do something with all this crap. Like I said, I probably got 20 pairs of gloves, freaking, 15, 20 jackets in there, 7 or 8 pairs of boots.
Well, I got all sorts of shit in my house. I'm just leaving it for my kids to have to clean up. One of the family members come down. One of the cousins come down here last week. Said, Lloyd, you need to start sorting through some of this stuff. I said, oh hell no, I'm going to collect more shit so my kids will curse me when they have to empty out this damn
Right.
house
Yeah.
after I'm dead. Yeah.
Or
I always
they'll
run a
say,
dumpster.
boy, look at this antique and it's worth $1 gazillion. Look at that. Wow.
Nah.
No, they'll be selling dishes on the drone channels. Like
Yeah.
some people, I won't mention their any names, but they'll be trying to sell their parents' dishes on a drone channel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my boys are pretty. They're pretty aware of what stuff costs because
Yeah.
we had run a secondhand store and then I
Yeah, I
ran
remember that.
an auction house.
Uh-huh.
I had a weekly auction, or Judy and I did. So, and they helped out with that, and so they both worked for one of the big antique auctioneers here in town. It's one of their early jobs here, and so they're sort of aware of that, you know. But
just run a dumpster when I die. Just run a dumpster.
yeah,
Just
well,
store
that's
everything off
probably
the
half this
balcony
shit
into
will
the
go in the
dumpster.
dumpster. Yeah, yeah.
Don't waste your time.
They'll keep the guns, you know. They'll probably one of them will keep one of them will take my guitars, or at least a couple of them, you know. They'll probably just be hung on a wall somewhere. They won't ever be played, but yeah,
That's cool.
they'll have to sell it if they want to get any inheritance because I intend to spend it all.
On the way out the door, you'll be like spending the last dollar. You'll be like tipping you'll be tipping the ambulance guys $500 on your way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just about
Hey,
the
buy
time I'm
yourself
ready to
something
check
nice.
out. Yeah.
Hey, buy yourself something nice.
Yeah.
Get yourself something nice. There you go. Here's a credit card. There's about $8,000 on it. So go ahead and get yourself something nice.
Yeah. Circle around the block a couple times. I went to pick up my son at the hospital yesterday from his surgery. And on the way there, is up in Tulsa, and on the way there, the way it was tracking me, I went by and there was like a couple of different restaurants there, and then there was a Hooters. So on the way back, as we were driving through, I said, "Well, son, I know where the Hooters is at here in Tulsa." I said, "It's just on our way. You want to stop there for lunch?" He looks at me and says, of course, he's got a neck brace on. He goes, "Really, Dad? Really? No, I want to go home." Well, at least I knew where it was at. I was offering,
You
pay
could say,
for lunch.
look over there. Look over there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
So,
he's walking around like a
yeah, they
penguin.
fused the C4 through C7s
Uh-huh.
in his neck. So,
Yep. I had a friend that had that done because he had, he had arthritis since he was a little kid. And whenever he turned his neck, his thumbs would get numb. So they decided, fuse a few vertebrae because they were worried that one wrong move and that's it.
well, that's what they were telling my son. You could just hit the brakes too hard and paralyze yourself. Like,
snap your neck. Boom, boom, boom.
I had to go to a new doctor yesterday too before I
And
went
how
to pick him
new
up.
was he?
Yeah, well, this nurse was asking me, says, "Do you
New doc
going
smell.
through a list of stuff? Do you go to the chiropractor?" And I said, "No, and I don't go to witch doctors either."
Yeah.
Exactly.
I said, "I've
'Cause I
already
don't
spent
do
time in a
voodoo either.
wheelchair."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've already spent my time and dealt with paralysis in a wheelchair. I don't want to let somebody else do it. It's just like, no.
Right. And
Yeah, I'm
chiropractors
not-
are usually found next to the pet store and the store that makes keys.
Yeah,
and a vape shop.
Yep.
in the vape shop. Yeah.
There's going to be a kebab shop in there somewhere too, I reckon.
Well,
yeah.
well,
And
here,
maybe a
here,
show,
here in
like a Boost Mobile or something like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's right. The chiropractor's right in between the medical marijuana store and the Boost Mobile. Yeah,
There's probably a nail technician in there as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
or the vape store and the Mexican boot store that sells boots here.
There you go.
The tattoo parlor, acupuncture.
Yeah, tattoo parlors across the street. Yeah. You're describing the blocks right up there. Yeah, it's like, yep, that's where the chiropractors are at, right there by
Right
the
next
tattoo
to
parlor.
Crystals, where you get all your adult toys. Yep.
Yeah, no, Christie's is out
Crystals, you
of town.
say?
They moved her out.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, she's out on the highway now, where the truckers can stop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Service the lot lizards.
Yeah, it sounds like it's named Bucky's, but it's not.
Truckies? Oh.
With the F word. Yeah.
The F word.
Where they knock on your door while you're trying to sleep in your rig. Hey, you want a party? Yeah.
I think they call those lot lizards.
Lot lizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not that I would know anything about them. I've just heard that's what they call them.
Sure, Lloyd.
Yeah,
It's your
believe it or
story.
not, even being in the military, I have never picked up a hooker.
Oh,
Now,
me either.
Well, I say I have one gal. I thought she's really interested in me, and we ended up. I was at a sales show doing some, but I was still in the military. Went out to the parking lot and thought we were gonna make out, and she said, "So it'll be $50." I said, "For what?" She says, "For I said, "Wait a minute. Why would I pay you?" Yeah, she says, "Well, you do know that I'm a hooker, right?" And I said, "Listen here." I said, "I'm so damn good, you should be paying me, but I'll be damned if I'm paying you. So you can just get out of the damn car." And I just went back in. Of course, everybody else there knew it, and they just cracked up when I told them she'd have to pay me, but I wasn't going to pay her.
So
So I suspect you didn't get any extra cash that night.
I didn't get anything yet, no, and I didn't make any sales that day either. Yeah, it's
Mm.
pretty screwed up weekend all the way
I've
around.
never
So.
employed the use of a working girl either. By the way. Just to get-
Well,
Hey,
that
man,
was
get
the first.
laid.
I didn't even know it. That's the problem, you know.
Mhm.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When I first hit Swabach, we went to Nuremberg with everybody, and it was my birthday. I went to Germany like 4 days before my birthday. So they all
Right.
dragged me down to the red light, and they paid for a hooker for me. Her name was what was her name? Yuta. And I'll never forget it. But I just sat there and talked to her for about 10 minutes.
That
I
name
sat
is
there and talked to her for about 10 minutes. You know, I didn't have sex with her or nothing. I was just like, I was too nervous. You
You're the
know,
man.
Oh, yeah.
her name was Yuta.
Now,
That was her name.
I had an ex-wife that could have passed for a hooker, but that's the reason
Right.
she stayed
Ah.
alive.
And she was super pretty and everything. But I was too nervous. It just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah,
You know,
I just
yeah. I didn't like the whole, and it's so mechanical too. It's like, okay, well, go ahead and take off your pants and put your condom on. None of like, what's your name, where you're from, none of that. It was like, it was like, come on, man.
you like tea or
Let's
coffee,
go.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta, yeah. It's like ordering a hamburger or something. You know what I mean?
Put the
It was
money on
like,
the
okay,
dresser.
let's get this done. You know what I mean?
Don't forget to leave a tip on the table.
Yep.
Yeah. How much
Yep.
is it? How much it costs? There's a condom.
Yep.
Drop your pants. Basically, it wasn't no romance there at all.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
Some people
Well,
like
that's
it
it.
that
It's
way.
just a job. It's all
Yeah.
licensed over there, isn't it?
You know,
Yeah, it was just an assembly line for her. She was just like,
Squeaky,
all the
squeaky,
sex without any of the
okay, we're
talking.
done. Mhm.
It's sort of like the cataract surgery. They got all sorts of people lined up there, wheel them in, wheel them out, wheel them.
yeah,
Same thing.
Yep.
like going
Yeah.
to the doctors these days. You know, Marcus Welby's out there. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
all
yeah.
like, yeah,
Well, it's like with James's surgery. He said he was shocked when they wheeled him into the surgery area. He says there were table after table after table of patients being operated on. It's like a big assembly line back there. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
doctors is just a fancier, fancier,
We're mechanics. They're
more
people
expensive
mechanics
form of
now.
prostitution. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're the people mechanics. It's like going to the car shop.
yeah, yeah.
You know, they put your car up on the lift. They just put you on the gurney and start hacking away, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like going to Walmart and getting an oil change, a lube, and it's new set of tires. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? Even the worst hooker is not a lot lizard. Lot lizards are a different creature altogether. I manage truck
You got
stops.
escorts. There's a hierarchy here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I managed truck stops for a while, and then part of what we sometimes we hear there's a lot lizard on the lot, whatever lot it was, because there was more than one parking area.
right.
And okay, and we'd have to jump in the car and go there and chase her off the property, and they're kind of dangerous. I mean, they were a problem. Not only could they spread disease, they would shank a guy. You know, now he probably asked for it, but that's not the point. You know,
Right.
so we couldn't have them around. They were nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, God, they were so nasty. Yeah, and don't say "good buddy" on the radio anymore. It doesn't mean the same thing.
Mhm.
If you ever get on a CB,
Yeah.
hey there, good buddy.
Right.
Shitting me.
Yeah.
Good
I
buddy.
ain't
Yeah,
your
the
good
English
buddy.
language has changed altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, good buddy's kind of replaced some of the lot lizards.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard this the other day. This guy he's like 74 years old, and he says, he says the average age of man lives to be 76. He says, and I'm 74. He says, but a woman lives to be 81. He says, I wonder if I get better if I transition.
Yeah.
Good point.
Mhm. Yep.
Would I have a longer life if I transition?
I don't know.
And he joined a dating site for people his age. It's called carbon dating.
Yeah, you must have heard this. You and I must have been watching the same stuff on the
Yeah.
Facebook shorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or how about there was one, I think it was Britain's Got Talent, and there was a guy that couldn't speak. So he uses the computer, and he said, I can't talk, but and Oh, he said, guess where this voice came from? The train is leaving at 12:30 p.m.
You lost
Yeah.
me a long time ago. I
I was sort of keeping up with it, so I
I'm
understood.
not sure what
Yeah.
he's talking about.
Yeah, but Dominic saw that same video.
Yeah, I
And the
did.
guy said, yeah, people, I just can't get that Sussex accent down. But he was funny. He was really fun.
Mhm.
How he uses the laptop to do the voice generation.
Much
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. I
Stephen
know who you're
Hawking
talking
did.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had polio, I think.
Yeah, as well as several other things.
Welcome
Your
back.
mama don't
Welcome
dance
back.
because your daddy's got polio. Dun, 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 dun.
You know, that's one of the sadder things that I think I've ever heard you say. What a terrible thing to say. Hello, Alexis. Welcome back to the
Oh,
stream.
welcome back.
Shit.
Good to be
There's
back.
our favorite lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm tired. You
Yeah.
know, but
I
as
understand
tired
that.
as I, oh, that's a cool pipe, Lloyd.
Thank you. I
That
just
is
got this
cool.
one today.
He's doing Gandalf.
Yeah, I see
I'm
that.
doing my Gandalf thing. Yeah, it's actually a Gandalf pipe.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like pipes. I think they're cool. As much as I am tired, this is real. Like Lloyd was saying, surround yourself, whatever. This is good.
Yeah. It does. It's good therapy.
Oh,
Yep.
I just looked down and saw this.
Yeah.
Do you have a green one out you can show us?
All right, I'll go open the. I still haven't opened the boxes.
You haven't opened the box?
They're not mine. Okay, hold on.
Well, nobody said they were, but you can still
The
open
nice thing, Alexis, is being with this crowd here.
Mhm.
Talk with them 10 or 15 minutes, and your troubles don't seem near as bad as what they got
Yeah.
because most of them could really use it. They need the help more than we do. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
Hey,
if there's anybody in here
You
that
got
would
the short little cripple guy, and then the guy next to me that can't see worth shit. And then there's Lon.
Last night. Yeah.
I'm just a senile old fart in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I bought 200 of these spinners that are supposed to be in a translucent green with the same logo like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's for the 20.
I liked mine.
It's for the 2026 meetup. So I bought 100 for this year. I bought 200 for next year.
Right.
Ran me about $600 or so.
Yeah, I saw that on the bill.
Something. It was close to 600. Well, that way, this time next year, or whenever the meetup in April, I'll probably be so broke I can't pay attention.
Yes, you can tell it's green because
you got the green screen.
I'll turn it off. Let me turn it off. Hold on. Settings.
These are the smallest oranges I've ever seen. Look at that thing.
Yeah, those are
well, they're not tangerines, and they're not even
cuties.
No, these are navel oranges from California.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But they're not called cuties.
They're seedless, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
And you can see through.
Right.
You can see
Make
through
yourself big, Bill. I want to see it close
All
up.
right.
Yeah.
If only I could.
Oh, God damn.
Okay, stop moving. Upside down.
Right, upside down. Now it's upside down.
Shut up, jerk.
There it is. You got it.
There you go.
So the weight of that feels just like the ones that we had this year.
Yeah, it looks. It's just like it. Here's the other one.
Very cool.
But you can see through it. Can you tell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you can see the ball bearings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You can. These are quality. They'll spin forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, they do. They're really weighted nicely.
All right.
It's
now
really
you have 199 of them.
Really translucent. Yeah.
This one comes with a
199.
warning as well.
Very cool.
With the
It's a choking
warning. All
hazard.
parts.
That means Art can't play with it.
Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
Good. Oh, there's the Gandalf hat.
Yep.
And he's got a Gandalf staff.
I
I
do.
was just
Yeah.
wondering about that.
Well, no,
Yeah, I've got.
and
yeah.
a stick too.
All right. Now he looks like the wizard from The Sword and the Stone from the Disney movie back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Because he's got the
when I went to
Hawaiian
the
shirt
dentist,
on.
right? When I
He
went
had
to
the
the
Hawaiian shirt
dentist,
on.
that's exactly what they told me too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Aiden Powell.
there we go.
He printed this staff, Alexis.
Yeah,
You
this is
did?
3D printed.
Really? Three?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Huh. Wow.
Yep. It's 6 foot 9 inches long. And I got the stone too, which is not in this one because
Are you
they have a
concentrating?
battery operated light in them, and you twist the bottom, and it glows.
Mhm.
Oh.
So how many pieces did you have to make it in?
Oh, this is made in 11.
Hmm.
It's made with 11 pieces, and for the staff, and then one more for this is the stone, and it lights up.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
So it sits down in that swirl part. So
Yeah.
I got 12 of these little lights with batteries and everything for $5.99 over at the Hobby Lobby. So,
Be like.
where the hell?
Yeah.
But where the hell I
Made in
put my hat?
China.
Yeah. So yeah, made in China. Yeah.
Eh?
Mhm.
They have a oh, there it is. They have a Galaxy Con next month that my youngest son and grandsons, the whole family wants to go. So I thought, well, I've been to I don't know how many different conventions like that. I've never dressed up for one, so I thought, yeah, I may go ahead and do Gandalf this year because they usually dress up for it. I don't. I usually go as a grumpy old fart, which I think I do a good job of.
So that was just an act when you were here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just acting like a nice person.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
No. I got it wrong.
Oh, okay.
You were a lovely guest.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed myself there. I really did. You were a fantastic host,
I don't know.
both you and your wife.
It's just all her. What did I do? I opened the door.
Yeah.
You know, told you how to get here.
Yeah, told me how to
You got
get. Well, not only that, you
got
also.
almost no use out of that car from the airport to here, from here to the airport.
Yeah, that was it. That's the only. Yeah, that's all I drove it over to Sticks, followed you over to your house, and then
Wasn't it a Max? No, it was an Altima. That's what you had.
it's an Altima. Yeah, Nissan Altima. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fine car.
Yeah. Well, but when I went to
Brand
my
new.
dentist, the hygienist, yeah, it was like brand new. It was a nice car, you know.
Yeah.
She saw I was wearing a brighter shirt than this. She says, "Oh my God, you look just like that, in that really old
Merlin.
movie of the Sword of the Stone." I said, "Really old movie of the Sword of the Stone?" I said,
Merlin.
"You mean the Disney cartoon?" Yeah, I said, "She says, yeah, Merlin when he comes back and he's in the, yeah." So, and I actually looked at the cartoon and I'm like, "Oh, I guess I do, don't I?"
You put that
Especially
stuff
when
in
I put
Artie,
the
he looked
wizard's
like
hat on.
the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys know who the Sorcerer's Apprentice is.
Mickey Mouse.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw blotter acid with the Sorcerer's Apprentice on it. That was designer blotter, limited time only.
Mm-hmm.
That was famous, well known. I just saw it. I didn't eat any.
Well, I allegedly sold blotter acid. I won't. That's alleged, and they would come on all kinds. Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, it would be just whatever.
Yeah. This might have been before those guys. Because
Who is the
back
guy?
in 1980, I believe.
Who is the character on Captain Hook? The little short guy
Shmee.
with
Shmee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that
Shmee.
shirt.
Yeah,
That
Shmee.
shirt
That's a good
reminds
one.
me of.
So that
Yeah.
makes you
Yeah, Captain.
Hook.
I just had an apostrophe. I think you mean an epiphany. It's like lightning ran through my brain. Sounds like it
Well,
hurt.
and like in one of the action versions, God, who was it?
It was the guy was from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. And he played
Bob
him
Hoskins.
in
Bob
Bob
Hoskins.
Hoskins. Yeah, he played that character twice in two different versions of the Peter Pan story. He played it in Hook, and he might have played it in Peter Pan, the action version of Peter Pan.
Boys.
Yeah, but he played he actually played the character twice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He did
Well, Hook was live action, actually. Hook was live action. Okay.
Yeah, with Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. Yeah.
Yeah. And Robin Williams as Peter Pan.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was one that was a live action called Peter Pan, and I think he played the same character, Sneed, in that one as well.
You mean like a play? You don't mean like a movie?
No. There was a movie out.
Yeah, live action. Yeah.
There's a live action
like
movie.
Hook. You keep saying that like Hook isn't live action. Hook is live action too.
That's just what I mean. I said like Hook. They're both live action.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a differentiator there, and that's why I was a little bit lost.
I was not wanting to get it. He didn't. It's not like he did the voice for the character on the Disney cartoon. No, he did. He actually played the character on both versions. I'll have to look it up and see which one it was.
Yeah. Was there a sequel
Bob
to Hook?
Hoskins has twice played the role of Smee, Captain Hook's first mate and right-hand man in Peter Pan universe. Okay, let's see. I'm sure there'll be more than that. He passed away like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Who? Bob Hoskins?
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I probably heard it, but I didn't pay any attention.
14, yeah.
Okay, he first played the role in Steven Spielberg's cult classic Hook, a speculative sequel to the story of Peter Pan. 20 years later, a much older Hoskins returned to his role in the TV miniseries Neverland.
Neverland.
Oh.
Okay, that was it.
That's a speculative prequel to the story of Peter Pan.
I got you.
I knew he.
I wondered about that because I thought there was a sequel. I'm sorry.
What's
Like,
funny
go ahead.
is if you look
go
at
ahead.
this,
Go ahead.
if you look at this,
You go ahead.
I see this face and I think Smee.
Yeah.
I like the courtesy going on here.
Yeah.
You go ahead. No, you. No, you. No, I insist. We're like those two chipmunks.
Where'd Art go?
I don't know. He said something about chipmunks and he was out. He probably realized how late it was and he went, whoa.
Well, he didn't even say goodbye.
I know. He always leaves without saying goodbye.
Art, where are you? We lost Sneed.
Oh, well, I didn't even know he was gone.
He's back.
Hey, Bill.
He's
Bill.
back here. I checked. I don't know. There he is.
There he is. He's in the back.
There you go.
Where the hell did you go, Art?
When you put that thing over me.
That shouldn't knock you out. I could put 10 people in here. We only got 7. What did
Yeah,
you
I shouldn't have bumped you out.
Let's try it again.
He's so mean. You big meanie head.
What happened to Smee? Oh, look, I have an email that says I missed a call from the president.
Oh, wow.
Oh, did you?
Checked your phone recently? You missed a call from the president.
Have you guys been getting the text messages talking about, like the turnpike fees, the tag fee. Have you guys been getting any of that?
Yeah.
Hell, I've been getting that, and I'm not even in your country.
I get something similar to that.
Yeah, there's here in Oklahoma. Of course, we have what's called the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, and they have switched to the tag reader system, and every phone has been lit up at least 2 or 3 times a day with text messages saying you need to pay your bill at Oklahoma Pike Pass.
Right.
You
They're
know,
gonna
it's
suspend
you
your
know,
license. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I've gotten it,
yeah,
and it's like, no, I
My
know what my account is set up to fill itself up, and I get my
yep.
little text
Mine is too.
message,
Yeah,
not
Mhm.
really from them, but I get a text message that money was drawn, so I know it's got money in it. There's always money in it, so you know it's bullshit. And my dad just got it, as a matter of fact. In fact, that was a whole thing because
right.
I told him at the beginning of the day, Dad, he didn't even tell me it was from the term. Good thing saying they're going to suspend my dad. As soon as he started saying it, Dad, it's junk. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. Then he goes, Hey, I figured it out. It actually came from the turnpike. I mean, I was on the turnpike yesterday. Oh, yeah. So they're threatening your license the very next day. Oh, no, that's too soon. Yeah. When was the last time you had a license? On turnpike? I don't know. Because he doesn't have the sticker in the window anymore. So he's
Right.
probably had 3 vehicles since the last time he was on the
Mm.
turnpike. But they don't do that. But he actually forgot we had this discussion that morning.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And that's what they get, folks like that. You know,
Yep.
think
Yep.
it's legitimate.
Oh, big pumpkin seeds. Oh.
Everybody's been telling me to eat healthy, so I just ate 2 oranges, planter peanuts, and now some pumpkin seeds for dinner.
Pumpkin seeds. Now you just need sunflower seeds. Yeah.
And peach water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Bill, you got me started on that friggin' peach tea. I had to go buy some when I got home. That
Good,
stuff
huh?
is
Who doesn't
good.
like peach
Yeah,
tea?
No, it's diet. See, that's the
it's
thing.
diet. Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
Lipton
it's
diet.
Arizona, right?
No, Lipton diet.
Lipton diet peach
Georgia
tea,
peach they call
Georgia peach tea.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really good. You know,
it is
In a
good.
I've had
bottle?
Yeah,
Arizona.
Is
I
it in a
like Arizona.
bottle?
I've had
yeah.
Arizona. I like it too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the best
Mm-hmm.
diet drink that I mean, that's all I have in the fridge anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
except water.
And
It's a
I don't normally do diet
plastic
stuff,
bottle.
but that was so good. I
Yeah,
went out and bought me a big bottle of it.
you don't have that aftertaste. The peach is
No,
just
yeah,
enough to cover it up completely. You know, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first one that runs out. They have a whole like section
yep,
with all the Lipton teas, and
yeah.
always,
It's a little difficult to find
yeah.
because they're always
Oh, I
out.
felt really
So,
bad for this little old lady because she grabbed like 6 of them, and that's all there was. And this lady, like, they really said, "Oh, my husband loves that so much." Softy gave her one. I said, "You gave her one? You're a big shot. You're like 6 or 8 of them in your cart, whatever. Yeah, here you go." And she gave her one to go buy.
Mm-hmm.
so magnanimous. Yeah,
Yeah, she's a peach. But yeah, it's good stuff. Good. That's good. You're drinking. I mean, diet. I mean, they say it's bad for you too, but
yeah.
I don't.
I buy
It's
that
good
same
for
It,
tea for
everything.
Jeff, and then I also get him the diet Lipton citrus tea. He likes that too.
Citrus is okay. It's not as good as the Georgia peach.
that
In
Georgia
fact,
peach is just
I
Yeah,
have.
it's
I
good.
think I have the second best might be. I have pineapple mango in there, which is okay. But you can tell it's a diet drink, and that's
right.
the thing. It's much harder to tell that Georgia peach is diet. That's why we
Yeah,
like.
that Lipton was hard to tell, and I kind of got it. I liked it, and I thought, well, I'm gonna. So when I got home, I bought me some. So and I got to go get some more. I ran out the other day,
Ah, hey.
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I like
Mm-hmm.
this fidget spinner. I can sit here and balance it on my thumb.
You know, they
But
make
if
the
I,
Georgia peach with sugar, by the way. You don't have to. I mean, you're not
yeah,
that
yeah,
bad.
I know. I went ahead and got the diet just because I knew what it tasted like, and next time I may get the non-diet, the real sugar stuff.
Non-diet.
Or not, they don't necessarily use sugar. They use corn syrup or some other sweetener.
Oh
Corn
yeah.
syrup. Corn
Yeah,
syrup.
they use high
Yeah.
fructose corn syrup.
High
Syrup.
fructose corn syrup. Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, man,
No, no,
I know.
no.
It's gonna kill us all.
The Arizona Diet Peach is really good too,
Mm.
Is it?
in my opinion.
Pretty much
Oh,
all the Arizona
give it-
products they're good. Quality taste.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Arizona ever since they came out. I used to buy the stupid energy drink, the elixir or the whatever it's called, tonic, and I can find it anymore, unfortunately, because it was like $1,
You know,
and you got like a 24-ounce energy drink for $1.
No.
did you know that some of those like Red Bull and stuff like that will actually it'll make you pop on a drug test?
Oh,
One of them will actually show that you've taken cocaine. One of them will take. There's something in them that's yeah, and it'll show you hot for one of those. There's a an RN that
To
did
the internet.
Huh?
I said to the internet.
Yeah, well, yeah. And there was a nurse there that's what she does is drug testing, and she actually tested each one of these drinks, and every one of them showed something. I was real surprised, like with Red Bull,
mm.
and like the 5-hour energy drink, I would expect that to hit with something, But like with this new doctor, I had to go through all of this rigmarole, and I said, "Listen, I don't even buy those over-the-counter gummies, because I don't like anything that's going to mess with me,
Mm.
Oh,
I'm reading this.
it's
and it
because of
says-
B12, by the way. I'm sorry, Bill. I just
No,
want to
I'm
spit that
sorry.
out before I forget.
No,
Oh.
I'm sorry. No.
Go ahead.
It's all
Go ahead.
it's all about B12. Apparently, the energy drinks that have high B12 can cause false positives. So, I mean, if you were taking B12, girl,
Yeah,
you
I don't
need
know.
a shot
Yeah.
B12.
I don't
But anyway,
believe it. Mine comes
well, that's
up
what
and
it says on the internet.
Well, my
And 3
internet says
websites, by
something-
the way.
Mine says something different. Nah.
What does yours say,
Yeah, what does
Bill?
it say? B14?
According to
Might be
Metaphysical
12
Plus LLC, some rumors
Mhm.
claim that energy drinks contain drugs of abuse like cocaine, which could lead to positive drug test results. However, these claims are unfounded. Testing of actual products like Red Bull and Monster have shown no presence of such substances.
Well, and that's the thing.
No, there's no drugs in it.
There's no
The
drugs
heavy
in it, but it will
B12.
No,
cause
but
a
that's not what they
false
said.
positive.
They said that this is not true. I mean, just think about it. You got a young guy he likes to drink a lot of energy drinks. You don't think he hits his Zaza every once in a while? And maybe that's his lie. That's his excuse. That's what. Oh no, I had an energy drink before I came in here. That must have give you a false positive.
Well,
Where am
this
I
gal
at?
she did the test live, so whether they were any
Yeah, but
good or not,
I could fake
but
anything live.
yeah, you could.
What?
I'm not saying it's true. It was
None.
just
I'd
I
like
was
to know what is
surprised.
it in there. It's obviously not cocaine. But what is
No,
No,
no.
nobody's claiming that.
No, I know it's not. I know you're not. What I'm saying is what listen to what I'm saying.
Methamphetamines. It makes you look like you're taking methamphetamines.
What molecularly
Yeah.
All right, there have been reports of riboflavin being
I'm
mistaken.
gonna say
Right.
riboflavin. I said it yesterday, riboflavin.
Yeah. Well, what about cliff flavor?
For being mistaken for marijuana, according to the
Yeah.
article in the Missouri
Oh,
Medicine
that's cliff flavor.
Journal of Missouri State Medical Association. Riboflavin is a form of vitamin B, naturally present in some foods and exists as an additive in Red Bull. It's a B wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
B12. I mean, that's what they usually give you a shot for if you're anemic. But
Right.
B12 tablets.
my wife used to pass out. They'd have to shoot her up with B12. She's very anemic.
I wonder if they're looking for the drug itself or the body's reaction to the drug.
No, I think
I don't
they're
know.
looking I think they're looking for the drug, but it doesn't have to
The
be
drug
the
itself?
It just has to be something that has some common traits in its molecular.
Oh.
And again, in this test, they actually dipped the test strips into the drink itself rather than doing it through, because the body's going to process it differently. So it may not, in the drink by itself, it may show a false positive, but after it goes through your urinary tract, well, that's a whole different story.
Well, I could tell you stories about things coming out your urinary.
Oh,
I'm on a drug testing program. Oh, yeah, but that poppy seeds will make you test positive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, that's
well,
what my
heroin's
son's
made out. It's made out of poppies. Poppies.
Mhm.
Right.
Poppies. That's why
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. They were
Yeah.
running through a field of,
Yeah, that's a whole. Yeah.
and then they all passed out because they were stoned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's why Judy Garland ended up a drug addict.
Right, because of all those poppy seeds. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. That's why she.
Mhm.
They're
That's
so
how she ended up a
beautiful.
drug addict.
They're
Yeah.
so beautiful. I need them in my life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
it was quite a
Mhm.
talent.
Alexis, these
Mike
damn
was
things are
slow.
addictive.
What's a dick? What?
Bill's mic
I
was
said these
slow.
are addictive.
What is that?
It's a
Fidget
fidget
spinner.
spinner.
Oh, the spinner. Oh,
Yeah.
I got two.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you say, Alexis?
Bill's mic is low.
My
Oh.
mic is it's right here. It's not low.
Yeah,
It's right,
in
in
low
front of me. How about now? I don't know,
Whoa!
everything- What?
I'm just kidding. You sound fine. I'm joking.
Oh, everything's not working right. I probably have to reboot the computer. There was one of those updates. Preview updates. I don't know what it's previewing me. I don't see any difference. Except my mic stopped working.
Updates. Yay.
What?
How about them drones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about them drones?
They're
Hey,
addictive.
nobody here but me is gonna buy the Mavic 4. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You're going to buy
I
it?
get a better class of. I gotta get a better class of friends apparently.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
So you're going to buy it?
Yeah, well, I don't have any choice, man. I'm buying something. I don't own a drone
Well,
right now. It's the first time I haven't owned a drone in probably 15 years. I'm serious. This is the first time I haven't had a drone in probably pushing 15 years.
Did you get rid of your Neo?
Okay, if you want to count the Neo, then fine. I got a Neo. I don't
There
count
you
that.
go.
I don't count that or the Femi sitting on the shelf or the 2013 AR drone I got sitting over there. The Parrot AR drone or the Parrot Rolling Spider. I'm not counting those. So
Parrot Bebop and the RDS and
I don't have the Bebop anymore. I think I threw it out.
okay.
Yeah.
Or
So.
the what is it? Oh yeah, how about the Karma? Yeah, you still
Yeah, I got
that?
rid of all those. I had 3 Karmas, 5 3DR solos. I got rid of all those.
I'll be right back.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. No,
Like
you know,
me.
like I said, it almost makes me want to regret selling my drone before I got the new one, but I'm just being stupid because it's not that big of a deal. It's like I was doing anything important. You know what I mean? If the sun comes out and I go, oh, cool, I'll go fly my drone. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
know? Yeah, but
you're gonna bring this up every time you're in my stream, huh?
Yeah, there you
no, I'm
go.
gonna bring it up in every stream until I get a new one. It's not just your stream, believe it or not.
I mean, it makes me feel bad every time you bring it up.
No, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I hope I'm not making you feel bad. I made the decision to sell it, dude. I'm grown. I'm grown.
They
No,
got this
no,
thing
no.
called eBay. You can buy it on eBay.
I could buy another one right now if I wanted, but the bottom line is that no, and it's partially my fault because I made the what's the word I'm looking for? I made the deal
You made
before
the
I knew
deal,
they were
you
delayed on
got
May
eBay.
May 13th. It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out initially April 24th,
There you go.
and they delayed to May 13th for the release. And now it's probably going to release May 13th, but it probably won't hit the stores until like June. So that's the word. So, but it's not the end of the world. You know, I mean, I'm meeting Billy next month, and then I'll probably take one of his drones off his hands, maybe his Air 3 or something, if I
there you
can't live without a drone. Well, when you call me and go, hey, can you go do this house hunter's job in Indiana? And I go, no, dude, I don't have a drone.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes, oh, that's right, I forgot. You know, like, you got to go do it, Chief. So I'll probably steal one of Billy's if it's going to be a minute. Otherwise, I'll just live without it for a month. I'm not going to die. I didn't sell Bill my last pacemaker. I sold Bill a drone. You know what I mean? I'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that big of a deal. I actually have flown the Neo now a couple times. You know, so if there's a positive side to this,
Frozen for a drone. Oh man, Jesus.
no, I actually flew the Neo a couple times. Just you know, that thing is a gap monster, though. I should have booted up some footage. I'm gapping the shit out of that thing. I mean, I'm running it through gaps like, you know, just barely big enough to get through. And moving trucks. Our trucks are coming in at the end of the day, and I'm like flying through them as they drive into the warehouse and stuff. That kind of crap.
Did you see Jeremy's video where he replaced one of the motors on his Neo?
Who's Jeremy?
He's upgrading the motors to better motors, and it worked. Jeremy from some drone guy.
Oh,
Jeremy,
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had a video on Facebook about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine tearing apart a $200 drone and putting $100 worth of motors on it.
I don't know how much he spent on motors.
They got at least $25 a piece.
He just wanted to see if he could do it, and it worked. And he fired it up, and the controller said, "Hey, yeah, it didn't matter at all." And it's like, oh, cool. He was able to.
No, the controller shouldn't matter about the.
Yeah.
I would be concerned about voltage draw and stuff like that, changing the motors without changing anything else. I would be concerned about voltage draw, but yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Is it faster now or anything?
Well, he hasn't flown, and if he replaces the other motors, then he'll test it out and see if it flies. It should fly a heck of a lot faster with more powerful motors. They're the same.
He just replaced one motor.
Yeah, just to see if he could do it, and it worked. Yeah.
That doesn't sound hard. I'll be honest with you. I used to build drones. It doesn't sound that hard. They only held in with a couple screws, even on the. It's when you get into the other stuff is when you start running into a lot of.
Yeah, when you're building, you get the frame, and then you put the boards on and the motors, and the GPS if you're going to use GPS and all that stuff. Yeah.
Look at Bill. He's like, "Yeah, you talking about it like you know something." Say it to him, Bill. I can read your mind.
No. I would have been paying attention to think that.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, you dirty scoundrel. You scound. Oh, did you know that Tharn actually was a word? So all you guys that kept saying Tharn isn't a word, Tharn was actually a word in Middle English. From Watership Down discussion earlier.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't a word.
Yeah, from Middle English, it was actually a word. So he didn't completely make it up. Apparently, it was a word from maybe this family still used or something.
It's a southern word, son of a bitch.
Some of a bitch. I'm surprised it wasn't added to the Oxford Dictionary, just because they added ain't, for example. I mean, so you think they would add Tharn because it was quite the cultural thing.
What's the conversation about Tharn or whatever that word is you're using?
That was from Watership Down, and they used the word Tharn meant they went crazy, basically froze up and went crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
the guys were saying that's not a real word. And then I looked it up, and an Oxford Dictionary said it actually was a word in Middle English or whatever back in the day.
So. Yeah, Lloyd used to speak Middle English back then.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Semi-English.
Yeah. Now I speak hillbilly fluently.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fluently.
And sometimes if he mixes them up, boy, it's hell on wheels.
Yeah. Ye old dimwits.
Yep.
Yo,
Yeah.
some bitch. Jeep.
Yeah. I say ye old instead of y'all. Ye old dumber than a box of rocks.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yo, coons. Yo, rapscallions. Yo,
Uh-huh.
bastards. Whatever. Well, it's hillbillies.
Knobheads. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Although
Knobheads.
knobhead is more Australian, but my dad whenever he was going to get on to us, he had this, rather than get the belt and take after us, if it's just a minor infraction, he says you better settle down or I'm going to scob your knob. And what he meant was he was going to give you a knuckle rake right across the top of the head. Let me tell you, that will straighten you up real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what scob your knob is, and he used that all the time. Yeah, like I said, I grew up with hillbilly.
Melon.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a cultural thing. Isn't that interesting? Because nowadays in America, parents and everybody's so, not allowed to hit. But whenever I
right,
watch like
yeah,
Japanese shows and stuff like that, it's absolutely nothing for a dude to smack his girlfriend or his sister or whatever on the back of the head.
Yep.
yeah.
It's just
I
normal.
Uh-huh.
I
In the
used
middle
to
of the
do that.
crowd, just whap.
Apparently, yeah. My youngest son now, apparently he had, and I never did it that often. But when I was in the wheelchair, I only had one hand, and I could only reach him so far, and I'd on the back of the head. Well, apparently, as he grew older, he had, you know, problems with that. So he asked that I never do that to his kids, and I haven't. I didn't. I don't. I think later on he kind of wished I would have because, he, yeah, especially the first one because he ended up becoming a pain in the ass.
Hey, it's never too late.
Yeah, that's
It's never too late. Whoop that ass. It's
yeah.
never too
Well,
late.
and they ended up having to go to counseling about it because turned out they were the ones that needed the training, not the son. That you need to learn to be a parent, not a friend. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
so and they
Mhm.
they found out, and of course he ended up with. But I can't say anything to both these boys. You know, they're good kids. Now my other grandkids, I don't know about the ones up in Colorado because I ain't never met them, but
Oh,
I'm going to remedy that this summer. So
yeah, there you go.
hmm
Mhm.
go
I just thought
meet.
it was interesting. Every time I watch a Japanese show or whatever,
Yeah,
there's absolutely nothing for someone to
right,
smack
right.
someone else in the back of the head. It is in a
Yeah,
Yep.
crowd full of people, anywhere they happen to be, in the middle of school, wherever. Whap! And I'm just like, holy crap. It's
well,
a
Well,
my
different
brother used
world.
to do me that way too. Yeah, he used to do me
yeah,
that way.
in the
Yeah.
Philippines, little kids get the little Chanel right up the back of the head, the little slipper,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
or
yeah.
or they'll throw it at the kid. They'll throw their
Yeah.
I've had a slipper or two thrown at me. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. It's just interesting how the cultural differences,
well,
Mhm.
you know.
my folks, my mother would always say, "Well, I can always tell when it's time for you to have another whooping." Because
Mhm.
about every 6 months I just get a little too big for my britches, and one of them would paddle me. And now my dad, he probably the worst was he tore me up with a belt one day, but it was justified looking back.
Uh-huh.
My adopted grandmother had passed away, and I was like 8 years old. I was too young to go to the funeral, so I was supposed to come right home from school to the lady next door, and she was going to babysit me, Mrs. Carter. Well, I stayed at a friend's house because he had a new telescope he wanted to show me, and he had new toys. He had some cool shit. His parents were rich. So I farted around and stayed there, and I was going to call Mrs. Carter and tell her where I was at, but then I realized I didn't have their phone number, and I didn't know her husband's real first name. I couldn't find him. So I ended up showing up an hour late, and they'd gotten home from the funeral. They were in a panic. Mrs. Carter was, she was scared to death that something had happened to me. And I just come sashaying in the house and, oh, yeah, I tried to call, but I couldn't remember her number, And my dad met me at the front door with the damn belt in the hand. And when I pulled that front door open, he smacked me with that. And he had one hand on holding on to me and the other hand swinging the belt. And I'd take a couple steps forward. He sort of lift me up, swing me, whap, lift me up, swing me, whap. And, I mean, and, kids were, even back then when kids were getting kidnapped, so it scared the hell out of them. Was I get hit by a car walking home from school? They didn't know. And it
Yeah.
scared the hell out of them. And he came, and that was probably the worst whooping I ever got from my parents. And it was, I survived it, and
Let's.
Have you gotten whoopings from other people?
yeah,
Mm.
it's teachers.
Whoopings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in the principal's office. Yeah.
Look at Alexis. Did Alexis fall asleep on us?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we've been on for over 3 hours.
It's time to
Yeah, a little
go.
bit over 3.
Yeah, we might as well boat out, huh?
She's wiped out. She's had a hard.
Yeah, she's tired. I'm sure she is. I've been there. I've been there myself,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've
I've
been through
there,
it
man.
too.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It is.
I didn't have to deal with your guys' situations, and I don't know if I should be thankful for that, or what, because shit,
I don't know which is
episodes, but it wasn't on dragging on. You know what I mean? It was
Right,
like 6 months
right.
worth. It would be like, oh shit, you throw her in the car and run to the hospital, and they'd put her on an industrial inhaler or whatever the fuck they're called. I know what they're called. From
nebulizer.
COVID. Yeah, the respirator. Put on a respirator or nebulizer or whatever, and then she'd be okay in a few hours, and they'd send her home. And 6 months later, 3 months later, here we are again. To the one time, it didn't work, basically.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's like with Judy. She'd get to where she couldn't breathe, and then and back to the hospital we'd go. And it's just like finally she said she'd had enough, and I don't know if it was a blessing or not, but I was hoping to spend a couple more days. But by the time they got her in bed, she was already unconscious and was gone about a minute and a half later. And it's that was, I wish I'd have had more time to say my final goodbyes, but I was saying it all the way home, so it's like I rode with her, so
right,
she knew. And but what Alexa's going through right now, I understand that, man, because anybody who's had anybody in the hospital for a long period of time.
Yeah, my dad wasted away over 5 months or so, 3-4 months. I didn't like him that much though, so it's not the same thing.
Right, yeah.
No, it was not sudden. It's not like I'd had no idea that she had respiratory issues, right? So it wasn't sudden in the sense that somebody got in a car accident, but it was sudden on that day. You know what I mean? It was sudden on that day. It was like I went to work and I came home and she was dead, So it was sudden on that day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you knew that you'd take her to the hospital and she'd get better, and it's like and then you come home one day and
she's laying in bed with a phone in one hand and an inhaler in the other.
Yeah.
So it's sudden, and I don't want to say rather, right? But I would hate to have to deal with a slow lingering. So I have nothing but respect for you guys for that, because that's a hard road. It's a hard road.
It didn't seem at the time, it was what it was,
It's just reality.
Yeah, it was my life.
Yeah.
And but Alexis being knocked out like that, she needs the rest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So how about we may be getting our first Filipino Pope? Wow. Imagine that.
It.
Yep.
Are they run out of? Has the Catholic Church run out of money, or what?
No, the two top
discount Pope.
The two top candidates, they're both Filipino, and one Japanese guy.
Well,
Yeah.
there's 3 Asians that are eligible. They're not
Right.
necessarily the top because
Okay.
there's because what's going to change it is they're probably going to get more of a conservative pope
Oh,
because Pope Francis was a
pretty li-
socialist and
Yeah.
very liberal. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Right.
And it created a lot of tensions in the church, and they want to get back to one of the top candidates is actually black, and he's
He's the
also a
cardinal.
very
He's the first black cardinal, right?
yeah, he was the first black cardinal,
Oh,
and
is
he's
he the
also
one
very
from
You got to be a
Ghana?
cardinal.
you got to be a cardinal, yeah.
Yeah.
In the
And
conclave, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
2 of them that didn't
Non-European.
because of health issues did not come to the funeral, and thus won't be in the conclave. And
Oh,
one of them they called him Little Ratzinger, and Ratzinger was Pope Benedict,
Yep.
the
Right.
one that stepped down. He was handpicked by John Paul II, and he was what was called the defender of the faith. He was very conservative, but he was just not physically, mentally able to
He's
deal with
sick. Yeah.
mhm.
all of because at that point when he came in, the Vatican bank was going through a lot of problems and their financial crisis, and he wasn't qualified for that, so that's why he stepped down. But then Francis comes along, and he's just like opens the doors up for just about everything, and just it's a very
Right.
counterproductive of the Catholic Church, very opposite of what their tenets are, and
Well, he was the first non-European. He was born in Buenos Aires.
Right.
yeah, it's
Parents were Italian immigrants.
Mhm.
right, yeah.
Mm.
But he
Mhm.
was born and raised in the South. He was the first one from the Americas,
Right.
to be.
Mhm.
And but I wasn't a fan of Cardinal Ratzinger, who became Benedict, because he was really hardcore. He was German, very
Mm.
hardcore. And I
He's
thought, boy,
German.
but he ended up as Benedict. I saw him and I thought, as a Catholic at the time, I thought, I think he'd be good for the church, but then he stepped down. So
Right.
I've never been a fan of Francis, just because
Right. Mhm.
No, I've never been a
and
fan of Francis either.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cardinal Tagle, who's from the Philippines, he's in the mold of Francis. So maybe you're
yeah,
right. Maybe he won't get picked.
yeah. I don't think
Don't know
he,
about the other cardinal from the Philippines.
yeah.
What his leanings are. Didn't hear a whole.
He's been mentioned, but he's eligible, but the other cardinal, but he's not really been mentioned as a contender. Of course, I've been watching, having been Catholic, I still I still watch everything
Right.
to do with it, and of course, I had to become a converted Catholic. I had to learn all that stuff, so
Right.
and that's why I knew so much about Benedict and Francis, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, from what I'm seeing, they're really shooting for a more conservative.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's just all very interesting. I mean, I was confirmed Catholic, went through that whole thing. I'm not
Right.
I'm not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I got better. But and there's been 6 popes. I looked it up. I figured it out since I've been alive. Right.
Yeah, same here.
It's got to be a
I
video.
don't know anything about any of them. I
I'm
don't
not
know nothing
Filipino Pope will
except they were popes
do the Catholic faith any good.
and they had a
So
cool car.
they are a little bit strict and rigid and over the top kind of thing with their faith.
Right. The only one I remember is John Paul II.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, good
Oh,
old John
26
Paul.
years there.
Yeah.
I
I'm-
remember. I
John
remember
Paul
Pope Paul.
and Paul. Yeah.
How you old people.
Well,
I remember Pope Paul because growing up, he was the Pope.
Mhm. Well, you probably remember Pope Stevens.
I don't remember Pope Stephen. No, I'm not quite that
Uh,
old.
way back.
I vaguely remember Pope John, who was just before Paul.
What, the original Pope John? Back in
No, not the original one.
Oh,
No,
okay.
the
Just check. Just
Pope
check.
Pope John the 27th or something, whatever his last.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And that's who John Paul the First took his name after was.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, she's out
but
cold.
he was only like Pope for 30 days. You know, he was gone.
33 days. Yeah.
33 days. Yeah, and then he, popped the gasket and off he went.
Who was the Pope that dug up
But
the
they come
old
with a warranty. There's
previous
a Pope
Pope?
warranty though. They have they replaced him with
They can't dig them up.
equally
They're
good.
not buried. They're in the stone
And
tomb.
No, what you're referring to is a Pope in about the 1100s.
Yeah.
His
Good one, Don.
predecessor, he declared him a heretic, and they brought his body into.
Right.
They took it out of the coffin, set it up, and held
Held
had
a trial.
put it on trial. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. And his jaw fell off.
And he lost.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And
And then
they mutilated the body after
into
that
the
as
river.
a punishment.
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
took the body and buried it. They took the head, the legs on it, and buried it all around the world. He was
Oh, he got around.
depoped. Yeah, he did.
That was great.
Well, from what I
Yeah,
can
he's-
see, if you're looking for a conservative candidate, I don't know, baby. I was just looking at the list, and none of them. The black guy from Africa looks like he's the most conservative one out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Yes, he spoke out against same-sex marriages and stuff.
Right. And that's that may be who that's why I said he was one of the top contenders in the list that I saw.
It's kind of
But
ironic.
yeah, the rest of them are.
It's kind of ironic. They've always claimed that there was a black pope. They used to call it was the pope behind the scenes that actually ran everything. They called it the black pope.
Right.
So for there to be a black pope with a black pope,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Would probably be a white and black pope, and the pope
Ironic.
would be black.
Yeah, the black pope is probably you're probably sure you're right. It's probably
Yeah,
Italian.
black pope's white, and now the pope will, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess
It's interesting because all the rest of them look like they're right up there with Francis. The one
And
visited
it's one of the
Gaza
longest-
and spoke out against Israel and
And
sided
it's
with the
actually considered.
Hamas.
Yeah, it's considered a monarchy,
Mm.
and it's the longest continuous monarchy in history
Right.
because of it's a theological monarchy still, but it's a monarchy because they date it from Saint Peter,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Those-
then he's considered the first pope, and then each it's even historically it's just an interesting thing, and so this is the third pope I've seen buried that I remember. Just John. Well, actually,
Old.
yeah. I remember when Pope Paul VI died because, like I said, I grew up in a Catholic neighborhood. I know I'm old, right?
When was
Fight
that?
me.
I'm just
God,
kidding. I've seen the
John-
same number of popes as you have because I remember
Yeah.
when Pope John Paul II was whatever you call it. They brought in whatever the words are.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty close. I'm right behind you. I stood on the street with him, when he came through.
Yep.
Yeah, in the Pope mobile.
I've actually,
whatever.
I've actually got a coin that he blessed, and of course now he's a saint, so I can say I've got a coin that was blessed by a saint.
Yeah, we remember. We all remember Pope Paul. Well, no, maybe not all. Yeah, I guess all of us. He died. In
Yeah, we're old enough.
1978.
70. I was thinking it was the
September of
70s.
78. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking.
I was 17.
Yeah. I was in the Vatican just after he died, and before.
I was there just before.
Next. Yeah.
Were you sweeping up, Mark, or?
No, we drove down to Italy.
Yeah. You guys broke away from the Catholic Church, so surprised you didn't burst into flames. What do you want? I didn't know they allowed English people
Yeah.
in the Vatican. Oh,
Believe it or not, they do allow Episcopalian priests to
That's
come in
correct.
even if they're married
I'm only
and
kidding.
convert.
I'm
Yeah,
joking.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
It was all the only reason the Anglican Church exists is because Henry needed a friggin' divorce.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Well documented.
Yeah.
Well documented. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, he wanted an annulment, not a divorce. Like it never
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. He wanted an
You can't
annulment
be
because it never
divorced,
happened.
period. There's no such thing.
Right, yeah, you can have an
Yeah,
annulment.
no. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, with me
Yeah.
and Judy, what they did is gave us a dispensation because neither one of us knew where our exes were at and had no way of because we had to go to a tribunal and they would declare our previous marriage as secular marriage but non-Christian. So
Okay.
but instead the priest just says, "No, I'm granting you dispensation because
Uh,
the chances of finding your exes so that you can even do the tribunal it isn't going to work. So we're just declaring it. You know, you're free to join. You know."
there you go.
And right after the Pope died, I get a letter from the Diocese of Tulsa, which is the diocese that we're in. They're needing money, you know, so and they addressed it to me and Judy. It's like, she's dead. Did you not take her name off the mailing list? You know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
church,
she's
I
on
mean,
the
the
holy.
Catholic Church,
Yeah.
the whole annulment thing is just a cash grab. I mean, it's nothing. You can't get divorced, but you can get annulled for 30. When my wife was married in a Catholic church,
Right.
Joy was Catholic, and I let her know what I thought about the church, what it's become, and how I'm not really Catholic anymore. Anyway, and so she listened to me, but she's still Catholic, and then she went down there and talked to the priest at the church about marrying me and what she'd have to do. And he said, well, annulment would be the only way. And what do we got to do? He said, well, first there's a fee of $3,500. And that's it. You pay your money and you you sit in a couple of meetings with the guy and that's that. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's
Our
actually
fathers.
easier. It's actually easier to get divorced. I mean, than getting divorced. To tell you the truth, I mean, if you just had to rely on the church, here's your money. Okay, here's your freedom.
Yeah, if you could, though, you still got to go through the state and get divorced as well. That's the bad part about being Catholic and getting an annulment for 35 hundo and then going to the
Then
state
you got to
and
hire
getting a
lawyers.
divorce.
No,
Yeah,
it's not even
yeah,
worth it unless
baby.
if you want to unless you want to continue as a member of that church. So no,
Yeah,
Yeah.
not interested.
and that's the
Well,
key. That's the key.
you can't take communion if you're don't
Right.
either have dispensation or
Right.
so yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just go to another parish and go to church.
You
How the hell
can
are they gonna know?
if you're divorced, so long as you don't get married again.
Well, yeah, you just can't. But
Yeah, but they don't recognize.
or Judy and I both had been married twice before we married, so it's like we had 4 strikes against the 2 of us,
Oh,
Right.
there
so
you go.
That's a good
It's like,
point, Mark. Yeah.
as long as you don't get married, there's fine.
Well, yeah. Or you go
I
get
mean,
married at the state, and then just go to another church. Is what I'm saying, though. You know what I
Well,
mean?
then you're living in
You
sin.
just go to a different. Yeah, just go
Then
to a
you're
different
living in
parish.
sin, and you're cheating on the recognized spouse that, according to the church, that
I know,
according to the church, yeah.
So,
but they're not going to stop you
can
from
do
going to
whatever
church.
you want. We're talking about if you don't want to piss the church off.
Mhm.
Right.
You do that.
We
you do
did what
that
we wanted. We went. We got
things and
married.
they throw you in jail.
Back in the day.
Well, what's
yeah.
funny though is the people that
Stoned.
have like was it Catherine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy? Spencer Tracy was a very devout Catholic, but he and his wife had split up years before him and Catherine got together, and they were together till the end, but they were never married.
Right.
because
Mhm.
Spencer Tracy was Catholic, and he wouldn't.
Right.
Any kids he had would have been declared illegitimate by the church, and
Right.
he didn't want that. So that's the other thing that they get you on. If you have kids and your marriage is annulled, well, that makes your kids illegitimate. So
Oh, okay. Mm, okay.
It's a lot
Oh,
easier. It's a lot
no,
easier to annul a marriage when there's
you're
no
not
children.
to
When there's no
annul it if
children
there
involved.
is an offspring.
Hmm.
do
Yeah.
what, Mark?
Supposed to annul it if there's children, because the
Yeah, I didn't know
whole
you could annul a marriage when there's children. I'm with Mark. I didn't know you could do that.
I don't know if you can. I understood it that you could, that at
annul
one time you could. I don't know if they.
You could. The church will bend rules to make money.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I'll go along with that. I guess money talks and bullshit walks. I just think I thought the rule was there's no annulment when there's children involved.
You
I'm
would
with
think.
Mark on that
There,
one.
it may be.
Mm.
But we had kids, so it was that they didn't seem to have a problem with it. So,
Well,
Uh-huh.
you didn't get annulled through
Uh,
the church. You just got annulled. You just got divorced,
well,
right?
that's what they were going to do. If it was annul my two previous and Judy's two previous marriage, and we
Oh.
had kids. Both of us did,
Oh, God,
and they were
what'd
going.
you pay for
We had to
that?
go to a tribunal, but then because of the situation of
Mm.
one, Judy had no clue where either one of her ex-husbands were. I couldn't. I had a general idea where my first ex-wife was, but the ugly one, the second one, I had no clue where the hell she was at. She's,
All
hell,
right,
for
here you
all I know,
go.
she's dead.
Did you check the pound?
No, I didn't, but
Mm.
yeah,
Here you go.
she was, man.
In
She,
the Catholic Church, an annulment, which declares a marriage null and void, does not affect the legitimacy of children born from that.
Okay,
okay,
The
good.
children
okay,
are still considered legitimate, even if the marriage was later declared invalid. This is because the church recognizes a putative marriage, meaning a marriage believed to be valid by at least one party until it's
Mm.
declared null. Right?
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
see,
like they could talk to. Actually, Florida law is the same way. You can get your marriage annulled civilly, matter of fact,
right.
and it doesn't affect your the legitimacy
Well,
of your
and it
children
shouldn't,
or
that's,
your responsibility.
Right, but isn't there a
yeah,
time
and
frame
it
for
shouldn't.
annulment though? You can't be married 10 years and get an annulment, right? I thought
Well,
there was a time
all
frame
right,
for
let me ask you a
annulment.
question. Say you're married. You were married to someone who was lying for that entire 10 years about who they were, their background. You didn't know
Sure.
them at all. They were spies. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
And that could be looked at as you were never really married to this person because you didn't.
Absolutely. The paperwork would be wrong. The wrong names would be on all kinds of shit. Sure.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, I could see 10 years after that. People.
Well,
That's
and there's
different though.
also
Well,
there was a word you used there when you was reading that bill, and something invalid. They'll consider a marriage invalid if it was performed by let's say you got married at the courthouse, well, that's a secular marriage and it's not been blessed by the church.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they used a Christian ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
the judge is not ordained in the church, so it
you'd
doesn't
have to
matter
you'd
which
have to have,
church
you'd have to have
Christian.
a priest do the
Well,
ceremony.
you'd either have to have a priest or a minister. Well, if you get married by a minister, they do recognize other ministers, but
The minister's not
they'll
Catholic. We're talking about the Catholic Church, aren't we?
right, yeah, but they will declare an invalid if you get married, just a county ceremony or a secular
Right.
ceremony.
You know, the
Uh-huh.
mayor marries you or
And
whatever.
10
Get
years
married
in,
at
you
Yeah,
find
sea,
out your wife
whatever.
is a guy.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Over here,
Those
that's
are all. That's
You've had children. I know. I don't get it.
over here,
Yeah.
civil partnership rather than a marriage if you do it that way.
right.
Now, does the Pope use a secular phone?
Oh God.
I don't know.
So we've been on for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I think it's
And we're
Almost. It
talking
would have
about
been 4 if you'd have been on time,
yeah.
Mr. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Man. I'm docking your
Mr.
pay, so you
Man.
know.
Mr.
I mean, I hate to say goodnight. It's according to this, it's still 22 silly
yeah,
ass
but it's.
people in here.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
I'm tired. My
Yeah,
body's
it's almost
Yeah, I'm tired. I
gotta get
came
up
on
early.
tired,
Yeah, I've
dude.
gone.
Yeah,
I got
I've
the
relit
trailer.
this.
I got the trailer hooked up to the truck. I'm going to my dad's first thing in the morning. I'm going to go
Oh,
get
cool.
this thing
It's
Oh,
nearly
cool.
and figure out why.
Ah,
his
cool.
car's
What are you
still
gonna
on the
do with
battery.
it?
It's nearly midnight.
I'm going to ride it.
All
midnight,
As
right.
opposed to your motorcycles?
I think.
It's some
Well,
sure. Why not?
I'm just asking. You haven't been riding your motorcycles.
Yeah, this is. Yeah,
It's
Art.
a
What is Art? There's something wrong with you? You okay?
Milk.
You having a
Mills.
stroke? You're
You know, the
making all
answer is
kinds of-
yes to that question, Bill. There is something wrong with them.
Yeah, you can have
Absolutely.
more than one motorcycle. You know, and
Why
you're
you
saying
think
No,
I
you're
wear
right.
the
it's not
shirt?
this right.
Oh,
This is not
Joe.
the same as riding a Harley. It's totally
That's
different.
true. You're right about all
Totally
that.
different
I
experience.
recognize that.
And you're right.
Yeah.
I used to ride my bike a lot more. I used to ride it to work, but the problem, and so at least I got some miles on it, and I took less miles on my my car or truck or whatever. But not the job I have now, going over that bridge into Stewart. It just would suck on a motorcycle, especially hot ass
Yeah.
Harley in the summertime. You know, air cooled Harley.
Oh, you're right.
You know, but
Yeah.
this
Too bad
I
you don't
know,
have a
it's
Yamaha.
it's nearly a third the weight. You know, um, it's more than third the weight. You know what I mean? It's a little
I
heavy.
do.
Right.
Um,
So you didn't bring the scooter home with you last week or week
no, I
before?
wasn't going to pick it up and throw it in the back of my pickup truck. I didn't have my
You
trailer.
didn't feel like, yeah,
Okay.
You know, having a
Yeah.
hernia to go along with
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I
mean,
know,
could've.
right?
But it is 350 pounds, and it would have been
Yeah. Yeah.
a struggle not worth doing.
Well, I
Right.
wondered about
The next
that.
time I
And
come up, I'll bring my trailer and I'll up the ramp. You know.
yeah.
No, it could be done. You lift up the front end, you put the front tire on, and as long as
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Dad could actually help just by holding the steering wheel straight, and then I would have to pick up the ass end of it, and that would have been
Yeah.
a struggle, but I could have done it. You know, but why?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah. When you got a trailer that you can do it with,
that's right.
and you get to spend the day with your dad. So,
Yeah,
you know,
Well,
that's-
no, it's good that I'm going back because I got to figure out why he's draining his battery in 2 or 3 days.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's very true.
No, I mean it's zero dead. I mean it's not just not dead, not enough to turn the vehicle over. The headlights don't come on. The horn doesn't work. It's zero dead. You know, so
Well,
every-
some of the newer batteries, and you know this better than I do, I think, that once they get to a certain point, they quit sending power to the posts. They're like a smart battery almost.
well, thing is, you should AGMs. You get a little more. You get away with a little more, but you should like a standard flooded car battery. You shouldn't get below 50% because it starts
Yeah.
to damage it. AGMs you can go quite a bit lower. I don't know what the number is. It might be 15, 20%. I don't know what it is. Maybe Mark knows. Mark, do you know?
No,
I don't believe you. Really?
Mark
no.
knows everything.
Well, you can allow an AGM to cycle much less.
Yeah. What is an AGM exactly?
Advanced glass. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Absorbed
advanced glass mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absorbed glass mat.
Oh,
In other words, inside of it, there's actually looks like a kind of a honeycomb mat thing inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those they and that's another thing to understand too is they charge differently than the other ones. The other ones, the regular standard flooded battery charges at a
Right.
higher voltage. But aside from that, they're more resilient. It's sport batteries are all AGMs, unless they're gel.
Well,
or
the
lithium.
car's only less than a year old, isn't it?
It's a 66 Galaxy 500.
Oh no, sorry.
You made the same mistake I did, Mark. I thought he was
See,
talking
and-
about his new truck because that's what they were talking about last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah,
talking
the new
about
truck-
batteries. I didn't
Yeah, it
catch the
could
fact
have
that
a-
it's a super old car.
Yeah, the new
So-
truck he's had for a week and a half. That's
How
Yeah.
old's
right.
the on it though?
huh?
How old's the battery on the Galaxy?
I put it in Sunday. I put it in
Whoa,
last Sunday.
boy.
Yeah.
Voltage regulator.
Was the
Sounds
battery
like-
charged when you put it in? And I know we're just asking you dumb questions to be jerks, but
we had 'em-
believe it or not, a lot of batteries aren't charged all the way at the
Yes,
store.
because we brought back what we thought was a bad battery, and it went bad because he left it in a hot, Florida hot garage with zero charge on it for how long? So he destroyed that battery because that battery. You know what the date on that battery was? March 25. That was a brand new battery too.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wait a minute, March 25 last month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That one was when they
Dumb.
tested that in the store, it came up zero, like you weren't even connected to a battery, like
I
you weren't
remem-
even connected to anything. And then the one we had now, I had him say, because I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna give me another bad battery. I had him put it on the tester, and it showed 100%. So it was charged. It was charged all the way.
I remember
all the
on
way. And that one's really brand new. I mean, the date on it was actually that's what's I thought that's a little weird. I mean, the date was like, in fact, I just bought another battery like that, and the date, like this, say it was March, the date was next month. So the battery was from the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had an old Ford like that, and it kept the batteries. You just sit there, and in a few days, and the batteries would go dead. And they had Fords in that time period. A lot of them had the external voltage regulator.
It's a
And that
solenoid. That's a starter solenoid you're talking about. It's attached to the
Well, yeah.
above the wheel well.
Well, I thought I
the
thought that those old Fords had a voltage regulator.
They did.
Outside
Some
of
of
the
them did.
generator.
Not solenoid.
generator.
Not
Not that old.
I mean, not outside of the alternator.
Got an
Alternator.
alternator in it.
There's such
Yeah,
thing as
okay.
alternator without a built-in voltage regulator, but all modern alternators
Yeah,
have a built-in voltage regulator.
Yeah,
But back in the
but
day, they
some of the
didn't.
older
You're
ones
right.
Yours have a
didn't.
short in it that it was draining the battery?
No, it's just, well, it was the
Because the
voltage
car didn't
regulator.
run. It just sat there since Sunday and drained the battery.
Yeah.
So for the voltage regulator to be the culprit, since it wasn't run, that would mean that it would have to have a short.
Yeah, you have to do a drain test, Bill. Do you have a meter?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you
I've got a
do.
meter.
You know how to
I'm
do
gonna
it, so
bring
never
my-
mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my meter, and then you start pulling.
It,
You start pulling fuses until it goes away,
it's,
and then you'll
and
find.
to be
then
honest
you
with
can
you,
figure
it's,
out which line has to short, or which at least set of things. You know, what? Yeah, what
it's
line?
probably been 30 years since I worked on something like that. So my memory may be a little foggy, you know. I know my
No, you're right.
99
There's
Ford truck has a starter solenoid externally that I had to replace, but same thing, you know.
And you won't find that anymore either.
Oh, that's what Dad actually went and bought a new starter solenoid for it. I said, Dad, it's got nothing to do with the battery drain.
Yeah,
When they're bad, they don't. They nothing. Your car doesn't start.
it just don't start.
Your
Yeah,
fucking headlights still work, and your horn still works. The car doesn't start. Well, maybe it's a fuse. There isn't one fuse for everything, like for everything, you know. And which I proved to myself right, because we put a brand new battery in, and the car started. You know,
Okay, well,
started and ran. But I forgot to bring my tester with me, so I'm gonna have to test the charging system on that. But that's got nothing to do with it draining a battery in a car.
Don't forget your tester then tomorrow.
You know?
Don't forget to test these.
Okay.
I'll
we
bring that. And then
Are we
like I
leaving?
said,
Are
I'll
you
take-
going?
I'll
Are
give
we
my-
going? Are we staying? Or what's going on here?
I
Yeah.
don't know what you're doing. I guess we're going. I guess
Yeah,
we're
we're
Are you
going.
gonna go? All right. Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
guess we'll
go.
start the
And-
wave.
Let's get a
Because-
wave.
and when I was-
Let's get
I
a
was
wave
quiet
going. You know?
I was
Bye-bye.
quiet before because I was
Hey.
looking for this audio that I could upload, and you can hear it.
Okay.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Bill and
That's
all
awesome.
the tribe. Thank you all for coming,
is that
and
right?
I hope you will subscribe. You're all invited back next week to watch another show. We're all too drunk and tired, so we're gonna have to go.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
This has been a Bill Ways presentation.